Double checking with that. And we are live. Let's get ready to go. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it as soon as I find the intro. All right, let's get ready to go. Let's get it.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Muhammed Ali. You know who I am. I need no introduction, right? And you're listening to the Grown Man Hour with my man Bernard Riley, heard weekdays right here on YouTube. What do you think about that? How about that? Now let's get back on with the show. Thank you.
Oh, man. Camera is looking horrible. How did I do that? How did I do that? We got to fix that. I got to definitely fix that. Y'all got to bear with me for a second. Y'all got to bear with me for a second. I'll be right back. Damn it. Hold up. Yeah, it's getting to see some behind the scenes footage. But oh well. Now it adjusted back right. Now let's see what happens. Let's see if I'm back in somewhat high definition. There we go. I was in like 360p or whatever it's called for a second. But I'm back. I'm back in the building. Shout out to everybody. Welcome to the show. I appreciate everybody making it on in the building. I see we got 40 people in here. Hit the like button. We about to get this thing started. Before we get to going, you know how I always do. I shout out those who make it in bright and early. The early bird squad, as I calls it. Let's see. Okay, wait. Okay, I think that's ready. That's ready. Okay, we should be ready to go. Shout out to Al Boogie in the building. He said he's calling the F. Oh man, why you effery incoming? I'm calling it. I don't know what about this topic makes you say that some effery is incoming. I don't know why. I have no idea as to why. I really don't. This topic does not reek of some effery. But Al Boogie in the building says hit the like button on the way in. Gosh darn it. I don't know why I'm sitting here pretending like like this not about to be a cussing show because they're gonna be cussing in the clip I'm about to play. So I might as well start cussing in this motherfucker. All right. The back to trucker in the building says, let's get it. American Negro. Gotta shout out those that make it in with the first comments. Every comedian was red pill before red pill. That is an interesting point, but I don't know if you can substantiate that claim. I don't know if you can substantiate that claim. It is true. It is, however, true that comedians had to be good at cutting through the nonsense. That much is true. We do know that about comedians. They had to be real good at cutting through. Dang, I feel like my camera moved or I'm not centered, but anyway, it don't matter. Comedians did have to be really good at cutting through the nonsense. We do know that about comedians. So to some degree, they had to see things that other people didn't see so they can, properly pick it apart, analyze it, and make jokes about it. So it is to some. I understand where you're going, but hashtag not all, because there was a lot of them who used to also say a bunch of very simpish sounding stuff, but even Chris Rock is guilty at times of that. But Watch Gamer channel in the building says, peace to all. Yeah, this was interesting. Okay, so you've seen the clip. All male comedians are inherently red pill. I wouldn't say all. I wouldn't say all. Shout out to Pocket Watching with JT in the building. Shout out to Pocket Watching. Said my camera went back to 2003 quality. Miss Starbucks, really? My camera went back to 2003 quality. That's funny. I didn't even look at the name or the avatar that said it. That's funny. Got a look like she's butt naked with a damn Starbucks apron on. That's interesting. That's interesting. Emin Perry says, "Oh, and actors too." I doubt it. I can't go with that. You see, I can't go with that. A lot of them, when you put it, okay, let me explain it like this. Denzel Washington was asked before, what's the secret to a healthy marriage? Okay. He said, he literally said, I keep my mouth shut and I do what I'm told. Now, he could have been just posturing a little bit. Could have been trying to, faking it for the camera. But they engage, if you listen to them, they say a lot of weak stuff. They really do. So I can't just go and I definitely can't give it to actors, but comedians, they do be on to something, because their job is to see what other people not seeing and shed light on it and put the light on it. And that's how they come up with a lot of their jokes, because they're really saying true things that's in front of everybody else, but everybody else not seeing it, and that's why it's funny. So it is some truth to that when it comes to comedians. It is some truth to that when it comes to comedians. But I'll never give that to actors. Like it says why he got divorced. Yes, there's a lot of people. It was some debate on whether or not Patrice O'Neal was married. I always thought he did get married, but somebody said he wasn't married. We know Tom Lakis got married a litany of times. I think Tom Lakis was married upwards of 4 times before he figured out that, I'm probably not that good at this marriage thing. I should just not do it. oh, this marriage thing is just really not a good idea. It was Tom Lakis who said something to me that was really that opened my eyes. This was long before I found the manosphere. I knew about Tom Lakis. I knew about Tom Lakis in, I would say, 2005. And it's funny how a lot of what he was talking about was going over my head. He used to do something called the Atheist Hour. A lot of people don't know Tom Lakis. He's an atheist. And so about 2005, 2006, when I was listening to him, he would do a call-in show. He used to do something called Ask the Atheist, where people would just call in and argue with him about religious stuff. That's how I found out about him. I found out later that, oh, he talks about women and stuff too. And by then, I was, I got to the point where I was like 8 years into a marriage, and I was like, this guy might be on to something, but nah. I just, I had to live a little more before Tom Lakis' words start ringing more true. But that's an example of somebody who we could say was red pill before red pill, but still went and got married 3, 4, 5, however many times. There are situations where we can look at some of the things that some of those guys do, and we'd be like, yeah, you're saying a lot of stuff that make a lot of sense, but we can look at this and see where, dude, you're doing some stuff the wrong way. I'm not even making the never get married argument. I'm not making that argument. I'm just saying, if you've gotten married and divorced 4 times and you didn't wake up to that, clearly you with all the truth and knowledge he had, it was something that he wasn't seeing, or something, for whatever reason he wanted to keep going back to drink at that well. But yeah, 4 times, that's a lot. Married, I think, if I understand it right, he was married 4 times. Somebody can correct me on that. So there's a lot of them that, they get married and they get divorced, and it is what it is, and that's what they do. That's what they do. And despite all the knowledge that they drop, that you can go back and pull up some stuff that was controversial back then, but it was subtly being said. It was subtly being put out there, the things that men needed to hear. But oddly enough, the irony in it is that the things that men needed to hear, we had to hear it in the form of comedy. Like, think about that and let that sink in. The things that men needed to hear and needed to digest and needed to understand about women and how the world worked, the only way that it could really get out there and get a foothold back in the 90s is if comedians said it. Because then it's like, that's true, but it was a joke. It was a joke. But no, it was actually true. That was one difference. That was one huge thing. Man, Top Shelf C done blessed the tank bright and early. Top Shelf C done blessed the tank bright and early. Says, my favorite YouTube channel. Salute my fellow Michigan bro. Man, shout out to you. Shout out to you. And while I try to give you a wrench, just in case, I think you got a wrench, but while I go look to try to give you a wrench, we got to let Smokey count that money for us to make sure it's all there.
Don't you see we handling grown folks' business? Damn.
That ain't the right one. I'm sorry. That was Smokey. But that was the wrong clip. Where we at? There we go.
20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140.
That's $100.
Shout out to you. Appreciate you. And while I pull this up, I'm about to also drop a bomb. Yeah, had to wrench my guy up. Everybody in Michigan, yeah, I'm going to start collecting y'all emails and numbers, because, man, when I get the whole nother setup in a different location, in studio, everything, everybody who listened to my show who's in Michigan, I know a lot of y'all in Detroit. I'm not in Detroit. I'm going to have an in-studio setup type of deal. So a lot of y'all, I will be reaching out. When I'm having, a whole in-studio show with people and everything. And it's gonna be pretty damn cool. So I will be reaching out to all of my Michiganders who watch. Hopefully you in the, Detroit, Flint, Saginaw area. That way, it ain't a far drive. It ain't a far drive. Let's see. All right. Shout out to you. Appreciate it. I'm looking at something in the chat. Miss Starbucks. that's just funny to me. Naked in the Starbucks costume. That's a nice gimmick. That's a nice shtick. I'll say, nice shtick. You're gonna let you rock in the chat, even though when I see people with clearly fake profiles, I know I'll be blocking them. Even though I let fake Cynthia G rock. The Kevin Samuels Defense Force, I let them rock. We're gonna let Miss Starbucks. We're gonna let Miss Starbucks rock for a little bit. But I normally get people like that out of here. We're gonna let Miss Starbucks rock for a little bit. But shout out once again to Top Shelf C. Shout out. But let's get into this. Let's get into the video. Let's get into the video. Where we at? All right. Let me make sure I got my earbuds going. Yeah, hit the like button. We got 114 in the building. Only 55 on the likes. 2 people already hit the thumbs down. I know all the people that's here early are people that rock with me. I shouldn't be having a problem having 124 and having 100 likes. That shouldn't be a problem. But I guess half the people in here is like don't really rock with Bernard. But that means a lot when people like Top Shelf see not just the $100, but him saying, "Holy shit, what did I do?" Okay. People like Top Shelf see him saying that, my favorite YouTube channel. That means a lot to me. That means a lot because I be overcritical of my stuff, thinking it's not all that good. But I be like, man, when people say it's my favorite channel, it warms my heart. You said, what about Bernard Golden Toilet? Yeah, that dude was in here for a minute. Don't blame the broke down. But all right, y'all, let's roll it.
What do women want? Since we're there, what the hell y'all want?
Women want it all.
You can't have it all.
Yes, we can. Women want it all.
You motherfuckers want too much shit.
No.
You wonder why motherfuckers tiptoe away every now and then.
No.
Because you want too much shit. Even motherfuckers with everything don't got everything.
Women want it all. We want to be loved and worshipped. We want to be sex lovely.
Okay.
We want everything.
Okay.
We want everything.
You can have all that.
Just like men, except we usually want to.
Now, keep in mind, this was a time pre-manosphere. This was a time when women could literally just get in front of a camera and say any damn thing. And unless it was a comedian on stage with them, goofy stuff like that would just go, damn it, I thought I silenced it. My bad, y'all. That's rude and unprofessional. Goofy stuff like that would just go completely unchecked or unquestioned. That was just the modus operandus of the day. They would just say stuff like that. The audience would clap and then just move on to the next question. That was how things typically worked back then. That's why, again, I will always say I love the Sphere. I love that. Even though people obviously like them because they're popular, but even with Fresh and Fit, who shout out to them. They about to have they on the way. They about to have a 400K celebration again. Shout out to Fresh and Fit. They're about to hit 400K again. That's funny as hell to me that they about to. If you go look, because they had bounced all the way down to like 370 something, but they done fought their way back up to 400K. They gotta have a second 400K sub celebration. So shout out to Fresh and Fit on that one. But any platform where women say stupid stuff and men challenge it on the fly in real time and it's not a joke. It's not a comedian like Chris Rock, because comedians in the 90s were the one. That's why I forgot who it was who said that most comedians or all comedians were red pill to some degree. And I know where he's coming from, because comedians were the only ones. Emmett Perry. Yeah, Emmett Perry. Yeah, that was Emmett Perry. Comedians were the only ones who could tell the truth back then. So I love that non-comedians building platforms telling the truth, correcting women when they say nonsense, to where the stuff that she just said right now, you really can't put that out into the airwaves no more like you could back then, and not have everybody raise their eyebrow like like what's that clip Obsidian play? Like, bitch, are you for real? You can't do that no more, which he just did.
We want everything.
Okay,
We want
okay.
everything.
You can have all that.
Just like men, except for we usually want it from
We
one
don't want-
man, not
Even motherfuckers with everything don't got everything. Want something?
women want it all. We want to be loved and worshipped. We want to be sex lovely.
Okay.
We want everything.
Okay,
We want
okay.
everything.
You can have all that.
Just like men, except for we usually want it from
We
one
don't want-
man, not 50, 100, 1,000. Thank you. Thank you.
No.
And you can just listen to the audience and how the audience, and keep in mind, this is Chris Rock's show. But you can just listen to the audience and how much the audience applaud when women say stuff back then. Like that was, it was crazy. I mean, don't get me wrong, the audience still do that now, but it's different. It's a difference in the air right now, and the manosphere got a lot to do with that.
No. Every guy's not like that, even though I am. No. Y'all want one guy, but y'all all want the same guys all the time. Y'all all chase the same motherfuckers.
Yeah.
90% of the women fuck 10% of the men.
Yeah. But I'm not in that.
Oh shit! Hold on. One, the facts that as they say, facts that Chris Rock was spitting right there. But the most important part, notice the lack of denial on her part. And this is in the 90s now. This could have been early 2000s. I don't know. Somebody look at, well, he had a number of shows, but I believe this was either, I think this was late 90s. Could have been early 2000s. But either way, back then when he basically hit her with the 80-20 rule, but he described it as a 90-10 rule, she could not deny it. He called it. Somebody says 1999. So he was calling the 80-20 rule in 1999, and she can't deny it right in the midst of her saying, we want it all, but we want it all from one man. But yeah, y'all all want the same guy. Y'all all want the same guy. Like, so shout out to Chris Rock dropping truth back then that was going over our heads. Some of y'all was around back then and was feeling it, but a lot of that was going over your head.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah.
90, even though I am. No. Y'all want one guy, but y'all all want the same guys all the time. Y'all all chase the same motherfuckers.
Yeah.
90% of the women fuck 10% of the men.
Yeah. But I'm not in that 90%. Thank you.
And she's not in that 90%. And that was it's like the mass quantity of BS that they used to say. They still say it, but in the 90s, they said it in an unflinching way. Right now, it's like they flinch and kind of look over their shoulder when they say bullshit. Back then, they used to just say it with confidence. But one thing that has changed, that I don't even think the narrative is true, or the whole thing with they want one guy. I think to put it more specifically, damn, so you was 9 then? Yeah, you was young. He was pretty young in 99. I was born in 82, so you can do the math on how old I was. I wasn't ready. I was hearing it. I wasn't ready. I was hearing it, but I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to take it in. One thing that's changed, to put a finer point on this before I play the rest of it. The whole thing about them wanting one guy, I don't think that part is true anymore. They'll take one guy, and it probably was the same way back then. They just wasn't putting a finer point on it. They'll take that one guy if they're getting, like she said, everything from that one guy. Then, then it's like they good with that one guy, but if they can't get everything from that one guy, then they want it from as many guys as possible. So it's in a way they're no different from guys. That's where it has went to. If they can get everything from one guy, they will take that one guy, and then they'll be the trophy, and he'll be their trophy. But overall, they want it all still. They just want it from a team. They just getting it from a team of guys. That's the key difference in what's going on. And get all the way out of there, Michael Graham. All right, get all the way out of there. This is 99. If she's 30, do the math. She's into them early 50s right now, so cut it out. Well, you ain't got to cut it out because we can legitimately ask the question. Okay, how did that work out for you? Like if her and Chris Rock did a follow-up interview, okay? If her and Chris Rock did a follow-up interview and he just say, "Okay, how did that go?" That's my Chris Rock impression. How did that go getting it all? How did it go? Did you get it all? Everything that you said you wanted, did you get it all? Did you get everything you think you deserved? She hit the wall like a linebacker. But yeah, follow-up interview would be fire. It really would. It really would. But it's not about her. It's about the ideas and the concepts. But Chris Rock is calling it exactly right back then that they want it from the same. They're all going after the same guys. Now the 80-20 rule gets debated in this space a lot. Sometimes I hate when people try to scientifically prove it because depending on how you word it, depending on how you word it and frame it, you probably can pull out there's a lot of different data sources that imply it, but it's mostly an eye test kind of thing. But there are a lot of different data sources that sort of line up with it, but it's still, I mean, to me, it hasn't been in a very hard, concrete way proven. Depending on how you word it. Is 80% is only 20% of men having sex? No, I don't believe that that's true, but it's probably some 20% that can have sex with little to no investment. Then it's another percentage that can only have sex in a relationship. Then it's another percentage under that can't get none at all. That's typically how it is, and it's hard to really break that down into the data. It is. So I don't even try to go there, but I'm gonna back up a little bit and let it roll.
Y'all want one guy, but y'all all want the same guys all the time. Y'all all chase the same motherfuckers.
Yeah.
90% of the women fuck 10% of the men.
Yeah. But I'm not in that 90%.
I'm not in that 90%. Thank you. But you want it all, you want everything, but the guy that you trying to get that all and that everything from, you're goofy enough to think that every other woman ain't trying to get that all and that everything from that same guy, which means you are in that 90%. You are. So there's no way for that you can sit there and logically say that she's not a part of that. There's no way she could logically say that.
Everybody chasing the same motherfucker. Everywhere. I think as a kid in school, there was like 30 kids in class, 15 boys, 15 girls. Every girl want to fuck 2 boys.
Well, see, that was in school. I mean, I can't speak for all women. But I like a brother or not a brother. I like a man to be himself, stand strong in your beliefs, be strong and powerful. And if you're a little odd, or if women have thought you were odd for umpteen years, just forget about all of that. Just be yourself and come through with it.
Okay.
Bring it.
That was goofy as hell. We're gonna recap that. I wanted to let it roll. So, no, oh, wait, hold on. Jason Wolf, make that sentence better. You said 20% having children with 80% of women not having sex. That last sentence, not having sex. I don't understand what that part means. When you say 20% having children with 80% of women, it's not exactly like that. That 20% refers to um men who we know these stats at this point. 50%, about 50% single and childless, about 30% married. That leaves a remaining 20% that are contributing to the 80% of children, of black children born out of wedlock. That's fair, but that 80% of children born out of wedlock does not mean that 80% of women are having children out of wedlock with these 20% of men, because that 80% of children does not represent women, because some women have multiple kids. So I think something like 60% of black. I see. I didn't come prepared for the stats today. I didn't come prepared with the stats. I normally got stat drops ready to go. I didn't know we was going to get into a data driven. I mean, we always do. We always do a lot of things data driven, but that ain't what I came. I would like to pull it up. I would like to pull it up, but it's not clear cut the way that you're saying it. It's not clear cut the way that you're saying it. When it comes to it's clear cut when it comes to the children born out of wedlock, even though there are some married men who had children before marriage. That is true, but it's generally something that we can make a point about, that it's only a bottom 20% of guys who are impregnating the non-married women. We can make that point. We can make that point, but you got to get down to the percentage of what percentage of women fall within that non-married, and then you got to get over the hurdle. You got to get over the hurdle of, then this is a hurdle that you got to get over. Just because a baby isn't born, that doesn't mean sex wasn't happening. So there's a percentage of people who are having sex that's not being documented by a child being born, that you got to average into the equation too. So when you average that into the equation, that muddies the waters of whatever argument that you're trying to make based off childbirth. So that's why I said it's difficult to make the argument. It depends on how you word it. You can get to an 80-20 rule argument if you worded the way that I worded it, where there's 50% of men single and childless, about 30% who are married. Those 30% represent men who are getting sex within a relationship. There is some percentage of men who can get sex outside of a relationship. Those men, I'm not going there. I'm not going there. I did a video on this a while ago. That broke it down, and I'm not rehashing that. I'm not rehashing that. But there's a way to get there, but you have to word your argument in a very careful way, and we shorthand it, and we end up saying something that don't really line up or make sense. And I'm not about to do that on the fly. I may have to revisit another show prepared with slideshow and everything to really break down my actual thoughts on the 80-20 rule. All right. Shout out to Snuggles. It says, Bernard, quit telling me what I should do, for I have somebody pull up on you and rip all the stuffing out of your. That's just evil. If a bear was alive and you cut it open and you rip the stuffing out and then burn the stuffing in front of the bear. That's the type of evil stuff I think about. And here's Gabe A trying to shame men for looking at data, saying, y'all want to be statisticians so bad. No, we don't. We want to be accurate as possible. That's what we want, Gabe A. We want to be accurate as possible. You should not shame men who want to be accurate as possible. You're an engineer. Engineers are essentially mathematicians. How could a mathematician shame somebody for wanting to be statistically accurate in the things that they say? Like, I just don't understand that. I don't understand that, Gabe. That's why I say you be trolling. That's why I say you be trolling. You be coming in here on your Pookie Gabe type stuff. Snuggle668 in the building says, Bernard, you should do more of these with the oldest stars and their old interviews, and you should contrast with their life now. It should be a series. I suppose. That's a halfway good idea. It don't apply to this because, I mean, I guess I could do that with Chris Rock. We'll never find this chick. This chick, whoever the hell she is, we'll never find her. I mean, she ain't a star. She just I don't know who she is. She might have been a somewhat celebrity. Who knows? I mean, she was on his show. She got to be somebody. I don't know who the hell she is. It didn't really matter. What mattered more was what was being said. Okay, now there's Gabe. Shout out to Snuggles. Appreciate that. And now he's copping a plea. How is wanting to be a statistician shaming? When you say, yeah, I want to be statistician so bad. Yeah, I want to be statistician. I can't even talk. Okay, Zero with the correction says, please don't equate engineers with mathematicians. Some of the engineer fields have men who short circuit when calculating more than 2 digits. Okay, fair enough. I'll take your word. I'll take your word, Zero. I'll trust your divine, infinite wisdom. I'll yield. You have convinced me to change my mind. I'm not bringing up that previous conversation. You've convinced me not to call engineers mathematicians, Zero. Inside joke for those that was watching a couple shows ago. I've been convinced. Okay. All right. Let's get back into it. Y'all made me forget where I was at. Unlost my place.
Have thought you were odd for umpteen years.
Oh wait, she said a bunch of stuff.
Everywhere. Remember there's a kid in school that was like 30 kids in class, 15 boys, 15 girls. Every girl want to fuck 2 boys.
But see, that was in school.
See, she tried to say, see, that was in school, but the truth be told, that was true in school. That was even true at the workplace. How many of y'all notice at your job when a new girl come in and everybody gawking her, you knew it was either 1 or 2 guys. It was a competition between like 2 or 3 guys, which one was going to actually hit it. And that's always the case. Like when I've worked jobs where it was a lot of diversity of men and women and people of all races and everything, there were some couples that sprouted up where people was in actual relationships. But when it came to just smashing, the guys who ran through a lot of the chicks at the job, a lot of chicks in the same building, other department, a lot of the guys was running through it was the same small percentage of guys, which means that even as adults at the workplace, all the women are having sex, but it's just a small percentage of guys just getting casual sex, after, people go out for drinks after on a Friday. It was just a small percentage of guys that was just getting it casually like that. It just is what it is. And that's always been the case. And, it's like not even a big deal. That's just something that's understood. There's a percentage of guys that get it fairly easy, and there's a percentage of guys that ain't got to put a little work in. It just is what it is.
I can't speak for all women, but I like a brother or not a brother.
She's an aspiring swirler. Hey, BGS be pointing out some good stuff about the swirling when he said, here goes some more stats, Gabe. Cover your ears. Cover your ears, Pookie Gabe. Who probably deal with, numbers for a living, but, cover your ears. You don't want to hear no stats. Where BGS was talking about how the number of children that black men sire versus the number of children that black women sire. In every other group, like in white men and Hispanic men, their men sire more children than what their women produce. With black people, is black women are the only black men are the only group of men that sire less children than what their women sire, than what their women produce. Which means if these other men are siring more children than what their women produce, and black women are siring more children than what their men produce, then that could only mean, not only mean, but high probability, it means that the those other men are impregnating a lot of more black women than what we think about, but we just look at the kid and call them light skinned, even though the daddy probably Mexican, white, or Asian, or whatever the hell. We call them light skinned, we call them black. But they're siring more infinitely, well, I think 1.5 million more children than what black men sire. Only group of women that's actually doing that. And even if you try to make the argument that, well, it's more black women than black men, well, in other groups, there's still more women than men. And and it's also very important to point out that those other groups of men, the women are siring significantly less than what their men are siring. So as far as the whole swirling thing, BGS, I mean, it broke down the data and showed that yes, black women have tried to swirl. They've been trying to swirl for a while and they have failed. They have failed. It's a failed experiment with a lot of biracial babies born from it. A lot of out of wedlock biracial babies born from it. But we want to be statisticians so bad. I mean, us and these little pesky facts, stats, and numbers. I mean, God forbid, and shame on us for wanting to be accurate and wanting to have an empirically correct view of the world when we talk about things. Shame on us. Maury Moore returns in the building, says, isn't it hilariously sad how many black women usually never think long term about what they are doing, even on a casual sex level? They never think long term. Shout out to you. Appreciate the $5 super chat. Appreciate you for putting 5 on it.
I'd like a man to be himself, stand strong in your beliefs, be strong and powerful. And if you're a little odd, or if women have thought you were odd for umpteen years, just forget about all of that. Just be yourself.
Now, that's where women will give terrible advice to men. If you're just a little odd and people thought you odd for years, just be yourself. But you can't say that and then also concede the point earlier that you like that all the women want 10% of the men. They want the top 10% of men. But then the men who don't fall in that category, if you're a little odd, just be yourself and just be this, just be that. No. That's bad advice for men. It's good advice if the guy is just trying to find that one special girl. That one special girl who's just going to love him for him, and yeah, that's fine. And then when he finally get her when he's 30, he's going to show up with no experience, where she's going to show up with a lot of experience, probably, had a lot of sex with the, with the 10 to 20% of guys. And then so he's going to end up, there, basically just getting game ran on him. If he just be himself and just wait to find that one special girl, no, the guys got to figure out how to play the game. So that just be yourself thing. Yeah, you do need to be yourself. You need to be who you are. You need to stand on your character and everything like that. But no, you do need to figure out the game if you want more access to women. So you can learn women, so you can know women, and then then you're in a position where you can pick what you want. You can pick what you want and mold what you want. But to just be yourself thing, yeah. Shout out to Nick Penn down there. He said that's what women can do. Women can just be themselves. Women can just be themselves. No, if yourself is not getting the type of access or the type of outcomes that you want, then a guy got to figure out how to be something else. The guy got to figure out how to be something else. Now you can word it and put some semantics on it, and you got to be true to you. And that much is true. That much is true. There's certain aspects of you that you shouldn't change for nobody. But there are certain things that you do got to tweak. You might have to dress different. You might have to walk different, talk different. You may have you may have to learn how to play the game. Just flat out. Sun is hot raw. Gabe A, you couldn't out Pookie a playground bully in a kindergarten. Damn. The thought of you going Pookie mode is hilarious. Man, Gabe A, stay going Pookie. Gabe A, stay getting this Pookie on. Still want to do a one-on-one with Gabe A. Keep it techie left me on red. I'm mad at him. I got to do a one-on-one with Gabe A. Where is it at? Shout out to you for the $10. What do we get? What do we get for $10 around here? What do we get for $10?
What do we get for $10? Everything you want. Everything? Everything.
Shout out to Nick Penn in the building with the $10 super chat as well. That is correct. Niggas don't know what a Pookie is. Okay. Ironically, we got Chris Rock on the Jumbotron today, who was the original Pookie from New Jack City. All right. So yeah, we've changed the name of the game. The term is something different. Pookie was a crackhead. Or at least I think, well, were they doing crack in New Jack City? I forgot what drug they was doing in New Jack City. Well, yeah, it's all technically crack, cocaine, either way. But I remember G Money putting it in. No, wait, no, it was crack. It was crack. I remember seeing somebody putting a needle in their arm, though. It was everything. But I know G Money. I remember G Money was smoking crack at the end. That was sad. G Money got on this stuff, man. I didn't expect that to happen. That actually threw me off for real. I didn't expect G Money to start using. Like, that just seemed out of place. That really did seem out of place to me. But yeah. But you are correct that Pookie was a drug addict, Ray Ray. And Ray Ray was actually from South Central. And he was like the head, I guess, drug seller, leader of the gang. I mean, I guess he was the leader of the gang. Deuce, or whatever. I haven't seen South Central in a while. But anyway. But it has adapted to just if we're talking about a nigga from the hood who wants some nigga shit, that's what we talking about, Pookie and Ray Ray. But Al Boogie says the Ray Rays are the reckless ones. All right. I mean, Pookie cleaned himself up and got a job. And then got back on the crack. Okay, he cleaned himself up, got a job, and then they had him working with the drugs. Like, what kind of don't let a recovering crackhead handle the crack and at the job? Like, what kind of stuff was that? He's back there, started fiending, was going crazy, like a 1 and a 2 and like that shit was ridiculous. He was back there on camera doing jumping jacks and bouncing all around, and they found out about it. And he was supposed to be it was funny because they did find out he was working undercover, but if you think about it, they didn't exactly know who he was working for. Okay, so he had an opportunity to keep his mouth shut. He had an opportunity where he technically Pookie could have kept his mouth shut. But when they caught him, he looked down at the hidden camera on his belt and was like, "Scotty, help me, I'm gonna die." I'm like, nigga. You don't yell out who you working for into a hidden camera when you getting taken down. Like, that was crazy. Like, he low-key, and not even low-key, he high-key snitched right in that moment. That was like the funniest, not intended to be funniest part of the movie. That wasn't meant to be funny, but it was funny as hell. Because when they seized him, they knew he had a wire on. They knew somebody sent him in there to record audio. They didn't exactly know it was a hidden camera on the belt. They didn't know who he was working for. He looked right into the camera and said, "Scotty, help me. I'm going to die." And let them know exactly who sent them. That was messed up. That was all the way messed up. Oh, man. Yeah, I get it. He was crackhead, not a trained officer. I get it. But damn. You don't lean down, look into the hidden camera and say, "Scotty, help me, I'm gonna die." You wasn't supposed to do that. You don't gotta be a trained officer to know not to look in the camera and yell for help and name the person you need help from. Come on. God damn, Pookie. God damn. Oh, man. All right. But shout out to Chris Rock. He played Pookie, and that's really the reason we indebted to him. We use the term Pookie and Ray Ray, I believe, because Chris Rock played Pookie in New Jack City. So I think that's why we use the term Pookie and Ray Ray. That's literally where it came from. Oh, man, that got me all off the topic. We need Game Changer on the movie reviews for this one. I think he probably did do a movie review on New Jack City.
And come through with it.
Okay.
Bring it.
Woo, woo. Now, how's your fan mail? Do you get a lot of crazy, insane?
Yes, I get a lot of prison love.
A lot of prison love.
A lot of prison love.
What?
A lot of brothers on lockdown.
A lot of brothers on lockdown. But I am going to have to give a shout out to the brothers on lockdown. You're looking lovely.
Okay. Don't shout too hard because they'll look you up.
Don't look me up now. Don't look me up. Don't look me up. But a lot of the brothers in prison do send me fan letters and pictures.
Right.
And, you know, brothers are working out.
Yeah, they don't have shit else to do now. Don't get mad at my gut because I'm trying to fucking put food on the table.
Again. Chris Rock, man. Back when they could say crazy stuff and nobody bats an eye, only comedians could correct them back then. Only comedians. Oh, man. Hold on. Oh, man. All right, I had to get up. That is crazy. That is some crazy stuff that and she's like, shout out to the brothers on lockdown. Shout out to them brothers in jail. They looking good. It's fascinating just looking at this. Like I don't understand, like, you're complaining she was complaining about free men. Like, women, it's some black women. Hopefully, I think maybe it's happening less. I can't even confidently say that because, like I've told the story before, I was working and it was 3 women who was one of them. When she was working at the prison, she met a dude and got engaged to him while he was there. Another one never met the dude while he was free. Somebody just hooked him up. One of her friends hooked her up with a guy that was in jail, and they just started pen paling and got engaged. And another one I worked with had a baby daddy in prison. Like these were 3 women I worked with at the same time. Was entangled and in some cases engaged to men who were locked up. Be complaining about free men and admitting that and admitted, keep in mind, just admit it, interested in 10%. Only interested in 10% of men. When she said, well, not me, but then she basically just confessed earlier that, yeah, we only interested in a really, really small percentage of men. Al Boogie in the building says, that was a good impression. B. Diddy what plays a good crackhead if this YouTube don't work out. Oh, yeah, no, I've been doing Chris Rock impressions for a while. That's something that I do. I'm not gonna make a career out of it. I ain't no Zero. Zero can imitate somebody's voice and cadence perfectly. But it's some people who I can imitate pretty good. It's some people. I know what you meant. Bernard, they got a show all about chicks that love jailhouse pookies. This is a show about that? See, that I don't know of. But Chris Rock makes a really good point here. He says, gotta excuse me for my gut. I'm busy trying to put food on the table. But again, like I said, women, they used to be able to say some of the most ridiculous things on TV and nobody bats an eye. The crowd will applaud. And only comedians corrected it. Comedians were the only ones who could safely say something back in response to it. I actually forgot about that part right there. Because I be low-key freestyling this sometimes. I need to stop doing it. But I be low-key freestyling. I find a clip. Be like, all right, that's interesting. I'm going to riff on that.
Mad at me for not being toned. Rasham's got fucking fuck him.
And also, hold up. I do want to give a shout out to the thin men.
Okay.
You know, thin men in America, because look, don't sleep on thin men. Don't sleep on thin men. You know, it's all good.
It's all good. That's what they say about you, Lisa. It's all good.
Do anybody know who this chick is? Do anybody know who that chick is? I don't even know who she is. I just saw the Chris Rock clip pop up on my timeline, and I was like, okay, that was an interesting conversation, and she sounded crazy as hell. Crazy as hell, as a lot of them did back then. Shout out to Red Pill. Anything Red Pill, anything Manosphere that pushes back against the nonsense. T.D. Hutch says she's an actress. She was in Jason's Lyrics. Which role did she play? I don't remember her in Jason's Lyrics. Jason's Lyrics was right around the time I had a thing for Jada Pinkett, though. Somebody said Lisa Nicole Carson. Theo in the building. Shout out to Theo. I don't remember her being in Jason's Lyrics. Dang, y'all be knowing y'all people. Lisa Carson. Y'all be knowing the name of actresses that had small roles. Either that or y'all Googled it while I'm sitting here. But I don't know how you could Google it off her face, but you must have just recognized the face. I didn't recognize her, not even almost, not even at all. Now, the Snuggles point, a follow-up video is actually possible. Oh, now I'm looking at her. I'm looking at pictures of her now. Now, okay, now I recognize her. Oh, now I recognize her. She got just some breast every damn where in some of these pictures. I guess I'll pull it up. It wasn't about her. It was just about what was being said. I saw it and I was like, you know what? I'll just go live and play that and chat about it. But yeah, she got breast all over the damn place. That much is true. But anyway, women say the darndest things. Okay, now I ain't shit for this, but I'm sort of doing what Snuggles let's trying to see the outcomes of her life. That's what we got to do. We got to listen to what they were saying in the 90s, and then Google or Wikipedia their outcomes. Okay, she was in Love Jones. She was in Jason's Lyric. Most recently, Carson starred in Maybelle in the miniseries The New. Oh, she was in the New Edition story in 2017. Career, personal life. In 2000, she was arrested. So that was after this. That was after that interview with Chris Rock. In 2000, she was arrested and then committed to a psychiatric hospital after having a mental breakdown at a hotel. I guess she didn't get it all like she was saying she wanted. So she had a mental breakdown. In the July 2015 issue of Essence, Carson gave an interview which she openly described her struggles with bipolar disorder. I'm shocked. I tell you, and how the illness has affected her life and career after having taken a 10-year hiatus from show business to live and receive treatment in New York. She reported having moved back to Los Angeles with plans to revitalize her acting career. So we have our answer to the question. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna pull it back up. See, this wasn't about her because I didn't know who she was. I was only analyzing what was being said. Like I always say, I attack ideas and not people. I always say that. I attack ideas and not people. However, damn it, why is that doing that? I attack ideas and not people, so it wasn't about her, but it's worthwhile to point out this is an unplanned part of the show. Well, this whole show is unplanned, truth be told. I just was sort of winging it. I ain't gonna lie, sort of winging it. But y'all should be able to hear that. Yeah, I should be able to hear that. But let's after we just read the outcomes of her life, let's listen to this first part of this again.
What do women want? Since we're there, what the hell y'all want?
Women want it all.
You can't have it all.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Women want it all.
You motherfuckers want too much shit.
No.
You wonder why motherfuckers tiptoe away every now and then.
No.
Because you want too much shit. Even motherfuckers with everything don't got everything. Want something?
Women want it all. We want to be loved and worshipped. We want to be sex lovely.
Okay.
We want everything.
Okay.
We want everything.
You can have all that.
Just like men, except we usually want it from one.
All right. That was her. That was what she said she wanted. That was in 1999 that she said that. In the year up to this, and I'm reading her personal life on Wikipedia to see, we can look at how it all work out. In 2000, she was arrested and committed to psychiatric hospital after having a mental breakdown at a hotel in Manhattan. In the July 2015 issue of Essence, Carson gave an interview in which she openly described her struggles with bipolar and how the illness has affected her life and career. After having taken a 10-year hiatus from show business to live and receive treatment in New York, she reported having moved back to Los Angeles with plans of revitalizing her acting career, which means she's still at it. She's still trying to get it all. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. In the personal life area of Wikipedia, they normally will say something about a relationship, a marriage, or bare minimum some children. Ain't nobody even want to nut in her. Niggas wasn't even trying to hit that raw. Like, nah, we ain't taking no chances with this one. We are taking no chances. Snuggles, you stumbled upon a good idea. Find a clip of them talking in the 90s and then read the personal section of their Wikipedia page and then compare and contrast. See if they got everything they ever wanted. Yeah, I'm about to be doing that one. That's about to be a reoccurring theme on the show. Thank you, Snuggles. Even though you said that a follow-up interview, but we more than well, it will be better if we can see an interview from the 90s and then a more recent interview and just see how they talk about their outcomes. But that personal section of the Wikipedia page is it will tell it too if we can't find the interview. So good on you, Snuggles. You did something good. You get an A for the day. Theo in the building says women say the darndest things, i.e., I love you, it's yours, I'm faithful, I don't know him, I believe in marriage, I'm loyal, I can wait, I believe in love, etc., etc. Thank you, Theo in the building for the super chat. And Zero says, where are all the LOL emojis? Guys, it's okay to laugh at her. Yeah, it is. Okay. It's okay to laugh at that. Okay. It's okay to laugh what we're looking at on the screen. I can understand somebody not wanting to laugh at somebody who got some clinical issues going on. I can understand that, but it's still it's funny. It's funny because she's posing as a mentally healthy person right there, and there's so many of them. There's so many of them that walk around operating like that. Just put it like that. Like I don't know if the ideas in her head that could be blamed on being not mentally healthy. I don't know about that. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy, but yeah, I think I do agree with you, Zero. This did warrant a few more laughing face emojis in the chat. Because it was funny to her sitting there talking about everything that she want, and then look at the personal section of her Wikipedia page, and there's not even a mention of a husband, a kid, or anything. So it's like, yeah, it's just funny seeing that evidence that it didn't work out for her. But maybe guys are just getting a little soft and sensitive about the mental health awareness. Maybe that's what it is. Sun is hot raw in the building. Says you got loud on the negative stuff about her, but you got quiet with the positives. Oh, okay, fair point. I guess I didn't do it on purpose, but maybe it was just is what it is. Well, it was a personal. The interview with Chris Rock was about her personal life, though. It wasn't about her. What kind of work did she do in the 90s? Her career. Okay, Carson appeared in productions and famed Negro Assemble Company. Her first notable credit came in 1991 when she appeared on Law and Order. 1992, she had a non-speaking minor role in the comedy series The Cosby Show. She was a regular at the Apollo Comedy Hour. Okay, she was a comedian herself. Before appearing in a film, Let's Get Busy. Jason Lyric's Devil in a Blue Dress. She has appeared in Love Jones and Life. I don't remember her being in. Yes, I do. Actually, I do remember her being in Life. Now that I think about it, she also performed as an R&B singer in 1995 television movie Divas. She had a role in 1997 movie Eve's Bayou. This was all the time when she wanted it all. This was all during the time when she wanted it all. On television, she played a recurring role as Carla Reese on Girlfriend. So she did a few things from the 90s, 1996 and 2000. Okay, between 1997 and 2002, she played prosecutor Renee Raddick in Fox Ally McBeal. So she was working while she was going through some of the mental stuff. Rather, when she received multiple award nominations, so she got some awards. Good for her. Carson was fired from both roles amid reports about her erratic. She was fired from both roles amid reports about her erratic behavior on and off set. You can't make this up. Shout out to Kevin Samuels on that one. You can't make this shit up. So she was working from 96 to 2001. She had one gig on one TV show. And from 97 to 2002, she had another gig on another TV show. And Carson was fired from both roles because reports about her erratic behavior on and off the set, alleged drug use, being arrested, and admissions into mental health facilities. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's all bad either way. And this was 99, right when she was at the peak of her life, saying, I want it all. I want everything. I want everything. Me. I deserve to be worshipped by a man. That's what she was literally saying. She was literally saying she deserved to be worshipped. That's what she wants. A man to worship her. That shit crazy. I didn't expect all this coming in. Yeah, see, I be winging it sometimes. Sometimes I'll do a freestyle Friday show and I just kind of wing it. And so I saw this clip and was like, all right, I'm about to just do like a mediocre tutorials and review style video reaction and just call it a Friday. And yeah, this turned into a little more than what I thought it was. We all on this chick Wikipedia page. I didn't even know she was somebody that can be looked up. Interesting. Yeah, Zero, she made herself crazy. Either way, Bernard, Snuggles, every time you say play my shit, I'm not going to play your shit. You're being it's a lot of masculine energy stuffed into that bear. Either way, Bernard, play my shit twice and give me my props. I gave you goddamn props. All this excuse and pontification you're doing, I do not want to hear it. Now begin. No. You get what everybody else get. You get what everybody else get. All right. Yeah, she sounded like Ted. Now I'm gonna get a clip of it's a clip on YouTube of the Snuggles bear killing somebody. That's what I'm gonna start. That's what I'm gonna start playing on Snuggles. When you start getting the attitude, I'm gonna play the Snuggles bear killing somebody, or somebody killing the Snuggles bear, one or the other. The link is in the chat if anybody want to come up got anything to say. Otherwise, I can wrap this up and make this a shorter show today, because I do actually enjoy my Fridays, so I can get the hell up out of here with no problemo whatsoever. ever. Shout out to the kosher clinician who had a great show with him yesterday. I like talking to brothers like that. The conversation with him reminded me of the chats I used to have with my man Counselor Murray. Me and him haven't talked in a while, but I love when brothers who are in that field talk about things. I like we need more brothers in that field. So that's definitely a good thing having him on. And we got even okay, all right. We got X from wait, hold on, wait. I was about to say it, but I don't have to say it. I can just play it.
Only from TPOT Media. Open your minds.
X in the building. What is going on? Welcome to the show.
Peace, Brother Bernard. What's good with it, man?
I
mean,
what you got, man?
If you look at this, and I know that the show wasn't about her per se, right, but she is representative of many women from that era. All right. And you fast forward 22 years, guess what? Alone, no kids, in and out of the psychiatric hospital. I mean, she's typical. All right. It's not like she's not typical. She is representative of a lot of the women during that time. And not only that, she is representative of women that are her age now, 20 years from now, that's them. Because let us be clear, man, a lot of black people are walking around here mentally ill and undiagnosed. So what does that mean? A lot of those black people are black women. So you got a lot of mental ass people walking around here. And the reason why people weren't laughing at it, because guess what? She reminds us of some of our old mammies. Some of our mammies was like this. Crazy, self-flattering, delusional, filling their own heads up with all this nonsense, filling our heads up with this old nonsense. Of course we don't want to laugh. Why? She reminds us of mom.
Man. You know what? I'll actually wonder. I don't know if women do this. I don't know if women, like this was good to just like look at her and then look at the outcomes. I don't know if women today who think like her actually take a pause and say, women who thought like that back then, who's thinking the way that I'm thinking now, how did their life turn out? I don't think they stop and do that. Because I remember having a moment where I remember this exact moment. And I don't mean to kick dirt on the grave of my father. However, I know of the type of lifestyle that he lived. My mom, she was actually good, and she never spoke one negative word about my father. I heard about stuff from other people when I was actually old enough to hear it, so that was a good thing. I didn't hear nothing bad about him when I was younger, even when he was alive and my mom had some reasons to hate him. She never said one unflattering word about him to me. So when I got older and I started hearing stuff about him, I started hearing about the type of lifestyle he was living. And me and my dad, we got the same name. I'm a junior. And so people would hear my name and look at me and they wouldn't instantly know who my dad was. And whenever they would be like, "Oh man, me and your dad, man, that was my guy, man. We was running mates. And I'm sitting there looking at him. And I'm like, dude, you look like the biggest pissy wino drunk dude. And I'm sitting there looking at him like I was like 25 and sitting there thinking like, that type of lifestyle, this is what it turns into at 55. This is what, if you living like that, if you live in this certain type of lifestyle as a man in your 20s, this is what it looks like at 60. So I was in my 20s thinking like that myself, like, nah, I know not to go that route. because I was seeing men who lived lifestyle, and then I would take that and I would cross reference it with people my age who was living a certain type of lifestyle that I was cool with. I was cool with them as people. We grew up together, but I was like, man, the way that they living, that's where they hit it. So I know where they hit it. So I ain't trying to go there. So I don't know what percentage of women actually look at it and break it down like that to where
They can't, because the difference between men and men have a tendency to pass down knowledge to keep people from making the bad decisions that we made, especially when it comes to our sons, and our daughters too. We want them to be better than us. So we pass down information to help them circumnavigate, through life so they can be better than us. Women are different. Women kind of teach their kids to be just like them. So what happens is the people become worse. Okay? They're worse than them. I mean, because even now, you think these old bitches walking around here, you think they're actually telling these young girls the game, telling them, hey, don't have all these babies, don't chase all these penises, try to live your life, decently, get married, be stable, be submissive. You think they're telling them that? They're the ones who are passing this shit down. I don't need no man. You don't need no man. Be independent. Go out there, screw everybody, have 55 kids. They're telling them that shit, even though they know they are the 60, 70-year-old battle axe walking around in freaking Walmart by themselves, and they can barely move their legs, but they got a really, really nice wig on. I mean, it's nuts. It's nuts, man. It is nuts.
Yeah, no doubt. Right, Pablo. These old mamas.
These old mamas.
Man, that's just too funny and not funny at the same time. Like you didn't highlight it. You didn't highlight it. Them mamas all day. Says Bernard for next time you play Snuggles super chat. Oh yeah, I gotta look into that. Hold on, let me click on it and pull that up. Whatever he got right there. Hold on, because it's some funny videos out there of the Snuggles bear doing some obscene things. I gotta watch it behind the scenes before I can play it. But yeah, what else? What else did you? What else see? What else in this video? It was crazy though. The concept. And okay, well let's explore this concept. They will always say things like, "Well, these women that don't know how to act, when they know how to act at a job, they get that job, they know how to act." But I've always argued that no, some of them be actually some terrible employees. And so even when they get on that job, they don't know how to act. And so well, let me see. Hold on. Did I pull it up? Wait, I didn't pull it up yet. Hold on. I'm trying to pull something up.
I guess it all depends on
I'm
what
trying to
job
pull.
they're working, right?
That I guess that matters too. But I was trying to pull it up because I didn't exactly share it when I was reading it. But I want y'all to know that I was not making this up. I'll try to make that a little bigger. I'll try to make that a little bigger. The career part where it says, okay, on television, it was saying she played some different roles on television in between 96. I see you down there. We got mail about to get in here. Hold on. It was between 96 and 2001, and between 97 and 2002, she played prosecutor Renee Raddick in Fox's Ally McBeal for a role which she received multiple awards and nomination. And so she had a job that she was getting awards and nominations and all kind of stuff for. It looked like it was two different roles. She had a reoccurring role. She played the reoccurring character Carla Reese, the on-off girlfriend of Eric Lascelles, Dr. Peter Beans on NBC ER. So she had a reoccurring role on ER from 96 to 2001. And she had a reoccurring role or a steady role on Ally McBeal from 97 to 2002. And then she got fired from both roles amid reports about her erratic, hopefully I can see that, reports about her erratic behavior on and off of set. So even when they be in that process of getting it all, like they want it all, they want everything, even when they in the process of getting that, it's still not an on-off switch. Oh, let me act right even in this situation. It's like some of them, they're gonna act messed up no matter what the situation. They're gonna snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory.
Because they're baddie wackles, man. Some of them are just baddie wackles. You know, I mean, they're functioning. See, they are functioning baddie wackles people. You know, they can have a job and all this kind of stuff, but, you know, deep down inside, they're crazy. When they go home, they probably talk to themselves, talk to their plants, act like people are out to get them. You know, they're in their living room hiding behind the couch from the invisible boogeyman. You know, that kind of shit's going on at the crib. But, you know, they can get up in the morning and go to work. And when that craziness bleeds over into their profession, that's when they get fired. But what the people didn't know, they were crazy all along. She was crazy when she was sitting up there with Chris Rock.
Exactly.
She was Looney Tunes, baddie wackles right there, man. It hadn't bled all the way in yet. You know, she was, you know, doing her functional crazy person act at that point.
Yeah, like when they was talking about that erratic behavior, and keep in mind this was in 1999 when she was on Chris Rock show. She didn't seem fully stable. Like the whole concept of, you know, she went crazy. No, the things that she was saying was crazy then. But the part that I will highlight is that we've normalized some of the female crazy.
We've course,
normalized it.
A lot of us were raised by these crazy hoes. That's what I've been saying for the past 5 years. A lot of us were raised by these goddamn outpatient mental people. They needed to be in a mental institution. They needed to be in a damn straitjacket rubber room, but they weren't. They were out screwing, having us. They were doing that instead of being inside the straitjacket in a rubber room.
See, the dark side, the sisterhood, the force is strong. That's why we endured it so long, like the way we did. It affected some of the men too, man, because they were simping for these chicks hard back in the 90s. So,
man, you know, we were raised by these people, man.
Exactly.
A lot of us black people, we were raised by people who should have been in a mental institution, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're being raised by crazy folks, man. Why you think black folks so crazy?
I think the notion we keep telling them that you need therapy and stuff, and they still want to counteract the Jesus is therapy, God.
Yeah,
therapy. You going to see a person? You crazy person? No, that shame attack was with that. You need it more as possible. Maybe God created these therapists so you can go see them.
Yeah. Instead of being in some psychiatric ward, these women were where? They were in church. The pastor was the damn psychiatrist. Yeah, he was their psychiatrist.
So you got that money and the draws.
Yeah, I'm telling you, these are our ancestors, y'all. These are the people who brought us into the world and gave us this stupid ass psychology. These are the people who told us that black women were queens and goddesses and they were the most important people on the earth and mama can do no wrong. whatever mama says is the gospel. We were learning this from people who had like half a brain, and that half that was working had all kinds of things wrong with it. All kinds of things. It was like riding a motorcycle with a flat a front tire and trying to figure out why we can't steer the damn thing.
Yep. Yeah, man. You know, I was just sitting back, like, you know, Bernard, you was just asking a question through the younger females now these days look back at these women in the 90s and realize that, you know, where they failed at and everything. And I was just thinking about that myself. I think in my point of view, this is my opinion and the theory, I think they do look at that too. And they still try to supersede them. Two types of women do that. We know the little percentage of the feminine, submissive, inspirational women are definitely trying to supersede them. But even the ran through sluts try to supersede these girls also too. Because now look what we have now. They look up the celebrities like Cardi B, even Meg Thee Stallion, Nicki Minaj. They married. Well, one's in a relationship now. Meg Thee Stallion in a relationship now. Two of them are married and stuff. And these are ran through chicks. So, and what's the difference between now and the girls now? Like now, they trying to play the game like we is. Utilize their money now. As I would say, hearing it from Nina Unrated, she made the money so she could now fuck whoever she wants to fuck. And that's what a lot of these chicks now doing these days. They trying to, you know, not to use their pussy, but now I got the money to make on my own, and I'm supposed to see where they failed. I could, you know what I'm saying? Now the new thing is now, thanks to Brittany Runner, and now Amber Rose coming out of retirement, shoot, stepdaddy season and that shit, herbs to get the bag on that shit. Yeah, so
Say do it again.
Stay off the weed.
We saw the outcomes. We grew up with these shit. We already see the outcomes. We try to warn them, but they don't give a shit. They thinking about the moment. You know what? They failed, so what? I'm gonna still be a slut and still succeed more than they are. And then it'll be too late when it happens. When they see the outcomes of what happened at the moment. Oh, over 40, ran through, not married, not having a successful relationship, but still amped up on depressants, wine, and like we said with this chick, bipolar issues start growing, mental. It'd be too late.
Yeah, but you think about this, Brother Bernard and Brother Mel. Back then, Chris Rock was able to say the things he said and not get a lot of blowback. You fast forward though 20 years now, everything a man says is offensive. You say certain things on your YouTube channel, you get flagged. You say certain things on your Twitter, you get flagged. No, so now it's different. It's like we are in modern times, but we're not allowed to speak as if we're in modern times.
You want to know?
Well, hold on. One thing, hold on real quick, Mel. The one thing I said, you know, in my opening is that the only reason Chris Rock was really able to say some of the stuff that he was saying is because he was a comedian. It's like when women would say utter nonsense, men could respond to it if it was like in the form of a joke, and that's sort of what made, you know, that's what made a comedian a good comedian. He had to have the ability to pierce through or see through the nonsense and just cut right through the BS and get right to the truth. But if it's in the form of a joke, they okay with it. But if men in mass would have been rebutting a lot of the nonsense that we know now a clinically mentally ill person was saying, the men would have been criticized for it. And so that's the crazy dynamic with it all, that women could be practically crazy. They could be practically crazy and get up there and say some stuff and everybody can clap, but a man can only counter it with the truth if he do it in the form of a joke. That's how it was back then.
Yeah, because even now, you know, a comedian, you know, he's got to kind of filter his comedy in a sense, you know, because certain things, if he says certain things on stage, they'll try to cancel him. They'll, you know, all these groups will come out against him and say he's misogynist, he's racist, he's this, he's that. So, I mean, even now as a comedian, you got to kind of temper, how you execute your comedy in modern times, because every damn thing you say offends people, especially if it's coming out the mouth of a man. Now, a woman can get up there and say as much offensive shit as she wants, but a man, especially a black man, he can't get up there and, he can't say anything that he wants to say. He has to kind of watch, make sure he don't offend the women, make sure he don't offend, the homosexuals, make sure he doesn't offend this group, that group, So, I mean, it's just kind of crazy, because if you're a comedian, you should be allowed to say whatever you want. You should be able to express yourself in comedic fashion. But nowadays it's all about, PC, let's be politically correct about this, about that. Let's not make this group mad. Let's not. And nowadays what they'll do now, what's even worse, you can be a straight shooter. All right. And they'll look in some post you made 15 years ago and say, oh, he said this about women. He said this about homosexuals, and get you fired, get you canceled, get you kicked off your show for something you said 15 years ago. So that's where we are now.
But also that, though, it's not going to be a large percentage of heterosexual, strong-minded men that go for any race that's going to do cancel culture on females that says something offensive about us and stuff. We still brush it over the wind. Despite we got the manosphere, black manosphere, we report it. They're not even going to report us canceling them out for what they saying. And none of us going to come out and cancel them out the way they are going to be to us. And so females going to hear something and about what we say jokingly about them, and they'll cancel us, and they got the LGBT community to back them up and everything. Yeah, that's how sensitive we became. It's I think Dave Chappelle, his special was so came more famous the way he is when he made jokes about that, like how cancel culture is. And despite he had his critics, he didn't give a shit. Like, yo, this is what it is.
Right on.
Yeah, there's no such thing as free speech anymore. Free speech is whatever speech people allow you to speak and not feel offended by it. That's what free speech is now.
I see as this. There's always been free speech, but there's also not freedom of consequences. It kind of always been that way. It is during time. We can say whatever we want to say, but they're not gonna have freedom of consequences. You go to someone's face, woman's face, and call her a bitch, or go to a black man, white man goes to a black man and call him a nigga, and they free to say that, but they ain't gonna be the freedom of consequence of the reaction behind them saying that. They get knocked the fuck in their face and stuff like that. So it always been freedom of speech, but there's no freedom of consequences either behind that. Yeah, it's like there's gonna be a repercussion with your free speech. I guess now what's happening now, people are expressing it more of the consequences and try to police our free speech more and more.
Yeah.
All right. Those of you in the building, do me a favor, and make sure you go sub to X from TPOT YouTube page. Go sub to him and got it there.
You better do it, because if you don't, I will haunt your old black ass, crazy ass, mental patient mama in her dreams.
But no, I want to say one more thing, man. I'm still shocked about Snuggles, man. That's the first time I'm hearing Snuggles using curse words and getting aggressive with you. Yeah, I'm afraid he might just come hug you to death if you don't do what he says.
That's a she. That's the Snuggles. Snuggles is a she, not a he.
Oh, I don't know who that is here. Like he, whoever, yeah, but
yeah, Snuggles be wildin'. Snuggles be wildin'.
But let me a little sidebar, Brother Bernard, if you would allow me.
Yes.
Shout out to the brothers, man. Like not just the brothers in your chat specifically, but shout out to the brothers. Brothers aren't as offended as they used to be when they hear me talk about these old mammies.
Yeah.
Brothers, yeah, man. Shout out to you brothers, man. Because I know y'all know I've been talking about these old mamas for years, And it used to really offend brothers, man. But now brothers are like, you know, they don't get as offended. I think it's because brothers realize that even though X talks shit about these old mammies, they know a lot of the shit that I say is true. And shout out to the brothers for understanding that, you know, I don't just say this shit, you know, just to rib on your old mammy. I say it because I like brothers to see it. And I like brothers to know that it has influenced us. And I want you to be free, brothers. I want you to be free. That is why I say these things about your old mama. I want you to be free. That's all. Because, see, I'm concerned. I'm more concerned with you than her. That is the meaning behind it all. I'm more concerned with your mental health, okay, than hers. All right? Because I know she affected you, and she probably had a lot to do with why brothers do the things that they do, why they think the way they think, why they act the way they act, and all that kind of stuff. That is why I say these things. And yeah, Nat Turner, I am a little ill myself, but unlike you, at least I'm willing to admit it, motherfucker.
Yeah, well, so I don't even necessarily remember that when like brothers, they used to give you more pushback on that back when you first. Cause I remember, I think you was on O'Shea when I first heard you do it. You did a one-on-one with O'Shea when you was talking about that. Brothers was kind of going in and pushing back on it.
Some yes.
Yeah,
because you know I've been talking about these old mamas since about 2017, 2018. So you know, it's something that I've always talked about.
Hold on, y'all think y'all timed out Nat Turner a little too hard. I think he was joking. I think he was just playing around. At least, I mean, I don't know. Y'all got a history, or you know, do you, Nat Turner?
No, I don't have a history with anybody, but I have loyal followers who protect me at all costs.
Man, I took it when he said X got a little mental illness too. I just took it as a little joke. I mean, but Paul Game just put a sword. Like, damn.
Yeah, man. Don't fuck with me when my loyal followers are in the house, man. They'll cut your head off.
Dang.
you know they have to protect Xavier at all cost. Go ahead, brother Bernard.
OGJ Speed asking for the link. I think he got a problem with you talking about them old mamas because you.
Oh, well, he knows I've been doing it for years, so the OG knows me. Me and the OG talk on the phone, so you know we have our back and forth and offline.
OG like 77, like his mom. No, okay, his mom. I ain't gonna make no jokes. His mother may not even be with us right now, so I'm gonna hold the jokes. But I was just trying to calculate the age of his mother if he's still with us, given the age of OG. So, but she may not be still with us, so I'm gonna hold the joke. The joke.
Given this, you know, and I don't think the OG will mind. Given his age, his mother was probably a mother that we wanted. Okay.
Good point.
He probably had a decent mother. All right. I'm pretty sure he did. There he is now in his red tuxedo jacket.
Is that velvet?
Good with OG.
He got on the velvet blazer in this joint.
Yeah, in the OG, man, we talk on the phone. You know, we have our back and forth on the phone, likewise on, you know, online. So, you know, I'm very familiar with the OG. We don't agree on everything, but I respect the OG. I always have, and I always will. But I will continue to disagree with him on things. That's just what it is.
Yeah, that looked like his album cover after he fired all his background singers. He just on there by himself.
Talk shit while I'm not in the house, huh?
That's the album cover.
Hey, they ain't no goddamn album cover. That's my birthday, goddamn it.
That's your album cover.
That's him recently.
Boy, you crazy as hell, but no, you got that grease off your face.
That's why I'm off. That's why I'm off camera. I'm too greasy today. I
You're
just
too
turned the
greasy.
camera off.
Well, goddamn it, we both of that. Yeah, I don't give a damn about them old mamas. I just don't like the old mammy shit.
Oh, God. Yeah, he don't like me to use the word mammy. Oh, that's racist.
That is a racist word, man. They stopped using that shit. You remember it used to be called Aunt Your Mammy pancakes and all that bullshit. They got rid of that. But look, before I get started, thank you for letting me know, Bernard. Rest in peace, AJ. We started off together. I remember the first night he went up. Rest in peace to him. And there's another brother, a filmmaker that we all should know. If you haven't went back and looked at some of his stuff, he started off in New York, where you started off at that TPOT, and his son came on and gave a little how his father passed away last night. So y'all got to dig that up. I ain't gonna give you the name. Dig it up. He was the first Spike Lee of Spike Lee. And so y'all go back and look at that brother and his son still doing things. I know y'all probably looked at the movie Posse, Black Panther. This brother has always dedicated his life. And he got some shit out there, he can really educate you probably on these old mamas too. Anyway, TOP, what you got coming up? And I know, look, old Nate came up in the house.
I don't have anything planned, but that can always change. Brothers hit me up all the time with show ideas. Another shout out to the brothers, man, because the brothers be hitting me up and giving me a lot of show ideas. They write me. Some brothers write me and be like, X, I want to come on. I want to do a challenge, blah, blah, blah. So shout out to the brothers, man. The brothers are, I know we get on folks at times, man, but the brothers have supported me over the years, not just with money and shit like that. I'm talking about, supported my platform, supported my ideas. Brothers write me, give me suggestions, and some brothers just write me to say, hey, X, what's good with it? So a shout out to the brothers again, man.
Oh, we got that coming. I see my boy in the bottom. We got that coming. I'm gonna give you a little taste of my jump shot first. You know what I mean? I'm gonna hit like 20 in a row. You know what I mean? From all over the court. So we gonna do that first. We gonna do that probably Monday morning, and then I'm gonna get my legs together. And y'all gotta have to donate $100 a piece. We already got a bet with Bernard, but y'all to see that happen, you gonna have to put it on Patreon and let y'all donate to see that shit. And then if you want to give it to y'all free, that's up to y'all. And it takes a little while for to get these old legs up there at 10 feet. I make sure I'm gonna measure the shit right there on the camera. So y'all get that shit together. When you think out that be talking about OG be drinking Old English and all that bullshit. OG ain't never drunk nothing in his life. But anyway, I want to talk about AJ. Did you know AJ Bernard?
No, I didn't. You mean did I know who he was? Doing AJ Johnson?
Yeah.
Of course I knew who he was. I didn't know him.
Yeah, okay, because he was a good brother. We never got along, and I'm just be honest with you. Because anybody come on there and say, JSP, y'all know you ain't get along with that brother. We never got along, but I remember the first night he got ready to go up on comedy. It was at Mavericks Flat before Jay Anthony got his place out here in California, and AJ used to have the last Jerry curl for the Smithsonian because you used to try to look like Eazy-E. Matter of fact, he was in one of Eazy-E videos. And Jay Anthony used to, jug him all the time because he sat right there in the front row. So, but reason he did that is because he was trying to build his character when he got ready to go on the stage. And I remember the first joke he ever said when he went on stage. And that's what really turned me off with the brother because I thought it was kind of feminine, but it was funny to everybody else. And you got to understand, most women go out to see comedy. See, that's what people don't understand. So when brothers get on stage, I know some real militant brothers. comedians, and when they get on stage, they talk shit to women left and right, and women just love it. It's these women who don't go to the comedy club, who gives all that flack. But as you know, David Chappelle don't give a damn about what they think. He gonna say what he wants. Think about it. David Chappelle said, "When was 16 really 16?" in one of his comedy specials, and he got very little pushback for saying that when he was talking about the R. Kelly situation. He came out and said to the alphabet people, he was the one who named them the alphabet people. And he was saying, how far do you supposed to go with this shit? How far do I supposed to look at you like a woman? I am looking at a man. I mean, how many comedians, this is what I'm saying, real comedians don't really care about that. Chris Rock has always been a commercial comedian. Always, he'll always be a commercial comedian. That means he goes with the flow of what is happening and what we call community standards. He won't go a little past that. The biggest thing he ever did was went on Oprah Winfrey show and called all black people and told all black people there was two types of niggas. That's the biggest thing he ever did, on or off stage. So you got to understand some of these comedians like AJ. He just didn't give a damn. I mean, that's why he got the roles he got.
Wait, hold on. Let me give some pushback with Chris Rock being a commercial comedian. He's always been racially controversial. Like he's always said some, like I remember he hosted the Oscars when the Oscars, I mean, you can say he commercial in that he always had big gigs like that, but it was a big debate over, they talking about whether or not the Oscars was racist, and he was hosting the Oscars on stage at the Oscars and said, of course the Oscars are racist. But
that's still a commercial comedian. He hadn't said anything outside of what I consider a commercial comedian. Think about it. He would not have said that if people hadn't been thinking that. You understand what I'm saying? He goes with the flow. It's just like any president. They go with the flow. Whatever the flow is, whatever's popular at that moment. And that year that he did that and he hosted the Oscar, everybody was talking about, the way the nomination went and people who was nominated for roles. So he went with the flow. He go with the flow. You got to understand, he don't go against the flow. He goes with the flow.
I thought a commercial comedian would be one who don't want to touch the controversial stuff.
That's what makes their job easy. If half of the people is talking about it, he feel like, well, if I go in, I'm gonna at least get half of what everybody's talking about, and I get to say what I want to say. Dealing with that subject. So that is a commercial comedian. And you take a person like Dave Chappelle, and you can look at how he got started, but most of his fans was white when he got started. But if you look at the clubs he went to, all the clubs he went out in California, he hardly ever came to any of the black clubs. All his fan base was white, and he's always been controversial in his subjects. And that's just the way he is. Richard Pryor, same way. If I had to put two people in together, I would say Richard Pryor and David Chappelle pretty much, and Paul Mooney, you could put them pretty much in the same bag. They're not commercial comedians at all. Now, will people get there and use them in commercial, what we call Hollywood type pictures? Yes, because they have a following. You got to understand there are certain comedians have a following regardless of whatever they say on that stage. And AJ, reason why you never really seen him got big, you got to understand the kind of material he was doing. AJ was doing materials like his first joke, a big joke he ever did was he would go to an audience, ask men would they suck a dick, and for $1 million. That was the way he came on stage. That was his first joke.
Who used to do that?
AJ.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. I remember that.
And he said he would suck a dick for $1 million in a pair of pink pumps and a miniskirt. That was his first joke.
In humming Kumbaya, I think.
Yeah. So that was his way of getting on. But you got to understand, AJ
did he ask men that question, or did he ask men's that question?
Wasn't that on Def? That was on Def Comedy Jam when he did that, right?
Huh?
Oh yeah. Okay.
He did that on Def
He asked
Comedy
men's
Jam.
that question, and so he went around and asked people that question, and that's how he got his fame in the black clubs. And think about the roles he got after asking that question. all the roles that AJ ever had in a movie was roles that I would have turned down. I don't give a damn how much money they gave me. And that's just the way I am. But anyway, that's why he never could get big. Bernie Mac was more of, Bernie Mac was kind of like on both sides. He understood what he needed to do to wiggle himself in Hollywood. That's why he spent the last 3 years when he was on stage saying Hollywood wasn't ready for him because he was too much of a loose cannon. And
then he got his show on daytime.
Yeah, listen what I'm just saying. Who else did that? The white girl did that too. The one who liked to sleep with other white girls. She did that too. And so she went around and said they wouldn't hire her because she was gay. But she had already had a show that had flop, So, there are some people who are smart enough, who's in this business, understand how Hollywood works. And once they understand how Hollywood works, they can use things against Hollywood too. But just like I say, Bernie Mac, once he got his show, you got to understand his comedy went pretty much downhill because he knew exactly where he wanted to be at that moment, and that was he wants to be known nationally on a national TV show, and he couldn't do some of the things he really wanted to do. And that's the thing about comedian more than anything. It's all about who's paying the bill. But if you got a hell of a following, you don't give a damn about what you say. It's them ones who...
All right. Wait, hold on. I want to get into why you and AJ Johnson didn't get along, and I just realized this because I ain't been playing my little drops with the super chats lately. But my $20 super chat drop when somebody give me a $20 super chat is AJ Johnson.
I want 150,000, so we can settle out of court right now for $20. Man, get your.
I didn't even realize that until just now. But so yeah, shout out to AJ Johnson. But I want you to
rest in peace, that brother, because I don't have to get along with people for me to respect.
Cool. We get it. I mean, rest in peace to him. This ain't no disrespect. I'm
Right.
Even if he wasn't dead, if you were in the business, so know some celebrities personally.
Right.
And you say you don't like them. I'm just curious. You say y'all didn't get along. Y'all didn't get along. You sound like you respected him.
I respected him, but no, you're right.
Yeah, it sounded like you respected him. You said he was a decent person. Just the two of y'all didn't vibe well for whatever reason. I want you to tell the story after a while. I wish you would have reached out to me right when he died. We could have did this when it would have, been. But anyway. But I want to hear the story. But before we get into that, shout out to E Taylor 704. He says they hate the women that realize their mama's mistakes. Remember how the black woman looked at Jeezy's wife when she said learned and changed her ways. I think he's referring to when Jenny Mai, if I got her name right, said that she wants to be submissive to her black husband. And then what's the name of the chick that looked like she got Twinkies in the side of her neck? What's the girl on the show? X, you know what I'm talking about, the black chick on that show.
Twinkies on the side of her neck.
Her neck.
Damn, what does she got? Thyroids or what the fuck does she got?
No, she just eat a lot.
Okay. Well, women who have thyroids do eat a lot, but not.
Okay. I don't know. Lonnie Love.
Oh yeah, Lonnie Love.
That's the one everybody know me and Lonnie Love don't get along. Everybody knows.
You gotta hear that story after you get done telling us why
y'all hate each other, don't y'all?
Yeah, we pretty much hate each other. And it's pretty, but not. It's pretty much the same way. When I got into comedy, I just came from radio. So when I got in California, there were certain things I wouldn't demean myself, and I actually seen a bunch of comedians that I could embarrass a bunch of them how they started their career, because most of them started their career in the black clubs, Marriott Flack, and the West End out here in California. AJ, I thought he was kind of brother could really hurt our image a lot because what he was willing to do to get a laugh. And I'm just serious. And it panned itself out that he would do anything in front of the camera. And it panned itself out that he wasn't a person who was a business person. And I told him, I say, you're not really going to make it in Hollywood. They're going to use you and abuse you. And it was like another brother who came up in that town called himself Doo-Doo Brown. He was the same way. And when I seen these type of brothers who didn't have any character, any what I could consider that a person who would.
When you said Doodoo Brown, you talking about Luke's son?
I don't know his real name because the only time I ever dealt with him at the clubs was Doody Brown, and I just stayed away from him because of the kind of material he used. Oh no, not him. He's an older guy right here.
Oh, okay. I thought you.
Yeah, no, not Too Loud Crew. I know Luke personally. We started off way back in Atlanta, so I know him personally. He's just nasty, but he's a good guy. Luke was a good guy. He's a freak. But anyway, going back to AJ. And I told AJ, look, man, come on, AJ, you sat up there and took that abuse for 3 or 4 years from Jay Anthony, and that's the best joke you can come up with, man. I said, you're much better than that. And so when I missed
something because I was laughing at the chat. How was Jay Anthony Brown abusing him?
Because he was looking like Eazy-E, had that the Jerry curl. They call him drip, Jay Anthony used to call him drip. They say everybody, we charge him more to come into the goddamn club because he's dripping juice all over the floor. Drip. Don't even serve him no chicken. He's already greasy. I mean, he used to fuck with AJ for like 3 years. I mean, he had the whole audience laughing at that. And AJ took it. Never got mad or anything. He just got that tough skin. And when he went on stage, man, it just was like, I'm going to say any damn thing I want to. But, I wish somebody had really, like my cousin Al Toomer had got with him, because Al Toomer, my cousin, they was real close. They was real close, and he used to say, why you so hard on AJ about the same way you say? I say, look, I'm just tired of Negroes just do anything to make $1. And at that time, my cousin was dating Lonnie Love. And she used to come over to my house about twice a month. He tried to tell me, because he would always bring his girls over there, and they can pass me, then he figured like they was cool, you know what I mean? But if they couldn't pass it mustard with me, then they wasn't cool. And I talk about their hair, all that shit, about straight hair and all that. And I told Lonnie Love, of all the comedians in that club, you go beat out 80% of all the guys, and you go beat out all the women. She said, why? I said, well, number one, you fat. Number 2, you stretch your goddamn eyes. And number 3, you be willing to do any damn thing to be on TV. Now, you got to understand, Lonnie Love is a very smart, intelligent woman. She has an engineer degree. She was working out here in Northrop. And if anybody know about Northrop, that's a fucking government job.
Northrop Grumman, they build pretty much 90% of the fighters. The helicopters, the winged fighters, the Apache gunships, they build all that shit. They had one in Long Island where I used to live at when I was a kid.
These motherfuckers so secret that they have balls on top of their buildings, just spy all around, anything around them. So Lonnie Love is very intelligent.
Real quick, hold on. When you said Lonnie Love used to stretch her eyes, I just took that as like she used to buck them wide open. But
yeah, like that old boy back in the old pictures. What's his name? Make the eyes look like he's about to come out of the back of his head.
Yeah, she make her eyes
right. Go back and look at Soul Plane.
Well, I know what you're talking about. Bernie Mac actually used to do that.
Bernie Mac used to do that too, but he only did that, when he wanted. Hey, let me tell you something. God damn it, something like that. But it wasn't his whole character. It was when he probably got mad and he wanted to say something.
Yeah.
But no, she did it in that scared way where your mouth be trembling and shit. See, Bernie Mac didn't do it that way. He didn't do it submissively. He didn't do it. He did it to
like
demand something from
him. He did it like I'm gonna fuck you up.
I'm gonna fuck you up like him. But they were doing like the lip trembling and shit, like you're scared, a skeleton on his shoulder and all that bullshit. And so she left out my house so goddamn fast, she forgot her keys, and me and my cousin was up there laughing like a motherfucker. Because he know I can make her mad. I can push a button. You know what I mean? But I see people character. I see how they see, I could look at people characters, how other people, directors, producers used to come into the clubs and pick these people. And I'd be like, y'all don't understand, why they doing it. Because there's only going to be one top comedian, black. You got to understand that at one time. For some reason or another, it's always been that way. We can have one, right? But then we'll have a bunch of stupid ones that they just put in for character actors. and just give them anything. A bucket of shit, a bathroom with nothing but dead fish, and the motherfucker had to swim in it. I mean, they would give these kind of comedians anything to do in the business. And I thought Faison Love for a long time. Faison Love was a person who could do voiceover. Matter of fact, he did Baby Kids. Everybody think that's Robin Harris, but that's Faison Love using his voice.
What the fuck that got to do with me?
Yeah,
I just had to play the Faison.
Yeah, Faison Love,
who I got the clips of.
Right, Faison Love started off his career by crawling on the floor like a gorilla.
Wait a minute. I can't let this pass by. You said Faison Love did the voice for Baby's Kids?
Yeah, because Robert Harris was already dead.
What?
Right, he did that whole thing.
Wait a damn.
Come on, man.
Hold up. God damn it. You got me Googling shit, OG. You got me Googling
Faison
shit.
Love did the voice for Robin Harris because Robin Harris was already dead.
That's some fake news, man.
There ain't no fake news. I'm telling you things inside that I was a comedian at that time, so I can tell you what the comedians was doing at that time.
Yeah, but didn't Robin Harris do some of the voice? He did some of the voices in Baby Kids, right?
From my knowledge, Faison Love did that whole movie. Robin Harris was already dead, unless he did it in the grave. Unless they had some tape on him and from the beginning. If you listen to that voice, if you ever have a chance to interview Faison Love, he could do that whole goddamn movie in the back of his head. He did the voice.
Yeah, because Robin Harris died in 1990, right?
Right.
They did Baby Kids in what, 1992, 1993, so.
Somewhere around in that area. Faison Love did the voice. But that's the greatest thing Faison Love had going for itself. He could do voices. So Faison Love used to do this comedy act. He used to crawl on the floor like a gorilla, and he used to act like an old slave. That's how he got started. So I can tell you how a lot of these people got started, who you looked on film all the time. Now, Martin, he was more the East Coast. So by the time he got to the West Coast, he was already famous from his show. What was that? The brothers who the older brother who invested in the comedy. And I can't forget his name. Shit, I'm getting old now. But anyway,
I think he was getting old about 25 years ago.
That's a damn lie. Yeah, I got to run you goddamn right. But let me see some other comedians that there's a light skinned brother who got a podcast. I don't forget his name. What he called his name back in then, but. He was one of them light-skinned brothers used to always talk about the dark-skinned brothers, talking about the light-skinned brothers, we in and all that bullshit. Chris Tucker, same. Chris Tucker started off imitating Michael Jackson.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he did it on Def Comedy Jam. I remember
that.
Yeah.
He started off tanning shirts.
I remember if Michael Jackson was a pimp skit, yeah.
Right, that's how he started, and he used to be. And one thing I say about
whole
Chris,
thing that everybody say that slow down, Tito, damn. That's
same time, motherfucker, same time when he ordered food. So Jamie Foxx started off his career trying to sing, and he used to have this old thing about because his father was a preacher, and mother was the mother of the house of the church, and he had this skit about his first time he ever heard his mother and father make love, how his father used to do Bible verses when he'd be hitting that thing from the back. That was some funny ass shit. But Jamie Foxx really didn't want to be a comedian. He wanted to sell his music. So he used to be selling his CDs at the goddamn club for him singing some of the awful shit he ever had produced. Jamie Foxx is not a bad singer, but he's not Brian McKnight. He always wanted to be like a Brian McKnight, but Jamie Foxx really sang on one, I would say, he's got one sound. He's a one, what you call it, Bernard? A one pony or whatever.
One trick pony?
Yeah, Jamie Foxx got that same voice. Brian McKnight can do all kinds of shit with a microphone. But Jamie Foxx always wanted to be that Brian McKnight. But he found out that people like him doing comedy better than his music. And he'll do some music every once in a while, they said on the alcohol, all that other shit he does. But just like I say, he got into comedy to sell his music. He always wanted to be a singer. And so a lot of these people, not only that I seen them in clubs, some of these people I would let them in my space, like Tommy Ford, uh, um, a lot of other actors. I won't call their names. I just keep them anonymously, hidden behind the camera. But a lot of these people I came up with because I was able to get into a lot of doors. Believe it or not, but not. The Nation of Islam was able to get in a lot of doors that the average person couldn't get in the doors. And when we been a comedian, I went on stage with a bow tie and I told jokes that way. Matter of fact, I got out here in what we call the region west out here, I got the Nation of Islam to do security work for most of all the black films that was going on that time. Y'all got to understand, and from 1992 to about 1997, everything was popping for black films. That was our stretch. I mean, about every month there was a damn black movie coming out. That's when you got Boys to Hood. All this shit came out in that stretch. Robert Townsend was doing good. A lot of black independent directors was doing good. Y'all got to understand there was so much work out here. They was damn near painting white people with blackface to work in the movie.
OG, what is your opinion on Patrice O'Neal? What do you think about Patrice O'Neal?
I haven't heard anything lately. What's going on with that?
What did you think of? Did you know him? Did you know of him?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not by that name.
Well, Patrice O'Neal was like everybody called him the red pill comic, so to speak. You know, they thought he was. I seen an article one time about Patrice O'Neal. They said that he was the comedian that other comedians were afraid of. But you know,
what was his real name? Or what was her real name?
I think his real name was Malcolm.
Patrice O'Neal.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think his real name was Malcolm. I think.
Oh, no, this like I'm gonna be honest with these brothers. I know
Lumumba. His name was Malumba, but he died.
I got him. I pulled him up as I was saying that name. Yeah, but see this brother right here, he came up in a bad time because we already had Honeycomb, and he could never be on the level of Honeycomb. You see, and they kind of looked alike. You know what I mean? But he did his thing. You got to understand, a lot of these comedians, they do their things. You know what I mean? But I don't know if it's red pill, blue pill. Because you know what? I really don't know about all them damn pills. I kind of stay away from that pharmaceutical. You know, I still got a fat on me. So I got to stay away from them goddamn pills. So, but anyway, but he came in a bad time. You got to understand, when you're a comedian, your timing can be real bad. Real fucking bad. And so Chris Tucker had always, if you think about Chris Tucker and Chris Rock, they was pretty much in the same way, but y'all gonna say, oh, hell no, they was two different. No, these was two motherfuckers who had a real high voice. That's what I'm talking about. And one go cancel the other one out. So when you got a big comedian like Patrice and you got Honeycomb, one go cancel the other one out. Patrice did good for a while. Then Honeycomb came along. Then they was kind of like fighting, for that same space. You got to understand, comedian fight for space just like every other actress or every other entertainment. And if you kind of like look similar to that comedian or that actor, you gonna be fighting for space. I had to get rid of a couple, my agents when I know they had somebody that looked like me or I look like that person. And so I know that they were going to send them for interviews, and shit that they wasn't going to send me. You know what I mean? And so what I'm saying is, you got to understand, a lot of these comedians understand when they get with their agents, a lot of time it ain't them no more. It's what their agent tell them what they have to be. And that's what happens when you climb up that ladder. More you climb up that ladder, it's the more pressure you have from the studios, the more pressure you have from the big wheels, and the more your career is directed now. You don't become the architect of your... See, Richard Pryor came up in a time when nobody even seen him coming. And by the time he was coming, his background was so deep and what made him as a character that nobody could really control him because the drugs was doing it good enough. You see what I'm saying? So you got to understand there won't be another comedian like that comes from people won't see coming because now they groom these motherfuckers before they put them in front of the camera. And the ones you always see on the circuit or you see do comedy specials, but you never see TV, them are the ones they can't control. That's just the way this business works.
So now,
wait, hold on. All the time you've been saying honeycomb, you've been meaning to say hokum.
Yeah, I always call him honeycomb.
Oh, okay. All right, okay.
I thought he was talking about somebody else too.
I was like, okay, he's talking about some other cat I never heard of.
Yeah, I'm like, who is this honeycomb guy?
I always call him honeycomb because he's always in the woman's vagina. You know what I mean? If you think about honeycomb, he's all.
I'm just happy that was deliberate. I thought that was just one of your.
Yeah, I thought he was saying. I thought he was talking about somebody named Honeycomb because comedians have all these crazy names. I'm trying to think. I'm googling him and everything. I'm like, who is this Honeycomb dude?
Yeah, when you work at the business, you always come up with shit people don't. People don't even know. I sometimes forget I'm talking to people who are not in the business as far as knowing little shit in the background. Cause I didn't think nobody didn't know. Faison did the voices for Baby Kids.
Yeah, I just looked it up, and
I thought
both of them are actually credited, and a lot of people don't know that it's actually a video.
I didn't know
about to play just because it's interesting. I mean, it's very, very interesting. I had no idea he played the voice of it, but it's a video of him actually talking about it on Vlad TV. So I'm actually about to play that, and I want to know to what degree because Robin Harris is still credited. And
it's credited because he did Robin Harris skit. You got to know, Baby Kid was from Robin Harris skit.
Yeah, that was from one of his comedy routines,
skit,
right?
Yeah, so that was from his skit. So he gonna have to always be credited.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do your thing, Bernard.
You end up doing Robin Harris's voice.
Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
It's an animated movie, right?
Right.
Okay, can you still do that, Bernie? That Robin Harris?
Not like I did it back then.
He slipped up and said, "Can you still do that, Bernie?" He was about to say Bernie Mac because Bernie Mac, if you listen to his early comedy, Bernie Mac bit Robin Harris's style. Bernie Mac used to basically do a Robin Harris impression. A lot of people didn't really catch that, but that's really what if you just watch Robin Harris stand up and then watch Bernie Mac early stand up. Bernie Mac was trying to steal Robin Harris shit. He eventually developed his own style, but still, I mean, it was pretty obvious.
Not like I did it back then because it was, for some reason, I would mock when Robin would call me Shaka Zulu. I said, "Get out of here, you black motherfucker! It look like a bag of a tree."
My bad. I bumped it.
For some reason, I would mock.
Hey, get this shit straight, but
when Robin would call me Shaka Zulu, I said, "Get out of here, you black motherfucker! It look like a bag of a tree."
But you can see my point right there. Even when he was doing Robin Harris, even because some younger people don't know nothing about Robin Harris, but they know Bernie Mac. That sounds like Bernie Mac right there. So Bernie Mac and Robin Harris actually sound alike. But anyway, just a small tidbit.
I got the job.
I will have to I'll give you a little pushback on that one.
Okay.
Bernie Mac has been in the entertainment since he was like 14 years old. And Robin was not even known, and Bernie Mac was doing big shows, even though they was done in the libraries and the fair and all that shit. But Bernie Mac has been a hustler ever since he started off. And he started off with the sugar suits and all that other shit. But Bernie Mac had been out there a long time.
Well, I don't know who was out there first, but I think somebody stole. Okay, either they just talk alike and sound alike.
Yeah, they just talk. You got to understand that a lot of this comedy, I'm starting to look at some of these 1940s and 1950s comedians and stuff like that. A lot of the Arnaz, Arnaz got his whole thing from the guy who used to buck his eyes. You know, he used to get on the floor and wiggle his body and shit. It's something of the most funny shit I ever seen in my life.
Jenkins?
Yeah. The one he talk about his handicapped brother.
No, that's the one to do the bow-legged walk.
Yeah. All that came from this guy I'm telling you about. I forgot this comedian name.
James. I forgot his last name. Start with a J. Arnaz
Jones,
Arnaz Jenkins,
Arnaz Johnson, some shit. All them Johnsons and Washingtons, all them shit. Them brothers still got them slave names. But anyway,
you low key name dropping. You're not saying nobody last name. You're calling nobody first name. Just trying to make it clear. I know him personally. I don't call him by their stage name. I mean,
yeah. So
you stunting and flossing. I mean, we see it. It's subtle. It's like
not a little bit, not but a little bit.
The OG up here stunting on us and shit.
Y'all call it caping and capping and all that other shit. But anyway,
bragging all day, but it's cool.
No, I ain't gonna brag. I'm not being braggadocious right about now. But I mean, I worked in the business for 35 years. I mean, what can I say? You know, I mean, I can only tell you about my history. I can't tell you about other people's history, but I can tell you about mine working with these guys. And Faison Love, he's always been talented, and he always did voiceovers when he wanted to do, and he always used his size. You know, he know what he looked like, and he know what he can get away with. But he started off doing some real ratchet shit. But you know, he came up, and once he started doing that he did that Robin Harris. I never seen him do the old slave Negro comedy skit no more. I never seen him do the gorilla. the gorilla crawling on the floor. You know, he used to act just like a gorilla crawling on the floor. And I can give you some pushback on, not pushback, but I can give you some detail on Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker did the reason why he had hired Tiny. He ain't gonna never tell nobody this. The reason why he had Tiny to be his bodyguard because he went on the stage and said one time, and there's another comedian did the same thing. He got slapped off the stage. He said he had, I don't care what Farrakhan said, that I went in his house one day and I had to slap a pork chop bone out of his mouth. And I told Chris Tucker if he ever said that again, I'm going to have a couple brothers come up in the house. And I did. I had about 25 sisters and brothers coming to the house. The next time he did comedy. And that's when he had Tiny.
Wait a minute. You telling us that you had some goons run up in Chris Tucker's house?
There ain't no goons. FOI ain't goons. I'm not going to let you disrespect them like that. But no, because I was FOI the same.
You just told on them. I didn't know who ran up in there.
Well, I'm just telling you, you know, there's a certain image. There's a certain thing. A lot of comedians know this. Even Living Color, when I worked on Living Color, they did Minister Farrakhan in a respectable way in the spaceship.
But hold on, let me ask you something, because I heard you say that he had Tiny, meaning Tiny Lister, as his bodyguard.
Big Tiny with the crooked eye.
Debo.
Yeah, Debo.
That was his bodyguard in real life.
That was his bodyguard at the time when he did that, because he seen the other guy got slapped off the stage by one of the FOI, pulled off the stage and beat the hell out of him. And that brother, he's a barber now, but he still try to do comedy, but he ain't never been the same. So you know,
real quick, OG, did you watch that that Muhammad Ali documentary? They just recently, it's brand new. It's like it just got done. I think it's only 4 episodes to it. I think the 4th one just aired a couple days ago, so they finished it up.
Who doing it?
I forgot who doing it. Pablo listening. Pablo knows, because I heard Pablo say the name.
I did one about 2 weeks ago. One of the best interviews he ever did when he was out of this country, and he was saying things then that the average black man couldn't even think. I remember when Muhammad Ali told a motherfucker one time, if you thought...
Real quick, the reason I brought it up, because they've covered a lot of stuff about the Nation of Islam, or FOI. It went under a different name after Elijah Muhammad died, and I think his son took over, and he put it... that's not the important part. They be saying a lot of stuff, like they getting bold in them documentaries now, man. They be all...
Well, reason why...
you know, I don't want you to send goons to my house, but they've been holding
reason.
documentaries about how they killed Malcolm X. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but see, that's that whole thing been settled by his daughter, all his siblings, and all that stuff. See, what people don't understand is, Bernard, and you got a lot of people in your chat room, and not in your chat room, but just throughout Black YouTube, still believe that hype. Number one, Malcolm X was poisoned, and they wouldn't even let him off in Europe. And the Nation of Islam didn't stretch that far at the time. And that's why they wouldn't want him to die over there in Europe. And then people still think that today that the Nation of Islam had something to do with Malcolm X's death. Other than finding brothers in any place, like in your space right now, you can find a person who probably gave you super chat and gave you all kinds of thumbs up and all kinds of high five and all that shit. And all of a sudden, these motherfuckers come out and say some shit about you. The person who's been on your channel participating in your content, and see, that's what they do. But you got to understand, like Dick Gregory said, all the bullets that hit Malcolm came from down, not up. They gave them motherfuckers blanks. And so when they did the autopsy on Malcolm, all the bullets came from on top, not from on the bottom. These brothers rushed up on the platform and shot from the bottom up, but all the bullets came from the top down. So anybody who still believing that shit, they just hate the Nation of Islam.
So it wasn't Tom.
You said they hired somebody to fake kill him, but then
they didn't know that. They didn't know these motherfuckers brothers who they paid or who they had, whatever they had on them. They didn't know they had blanks in their fucking guns.
Well, if they didn't know they had blanks in their gun, but they went and did the act, then why not just have them be the ones that kill them anyway? Why implicate yourself in it if you or somebody else?
Because they didn't trust. You got to understand. Even though look, let me tell you something. Once a person, if you turn against who they trying to kill, they don't trust your ass from the beginning to do the job. You understand? They'll use you as a what? That's all they was used them brothers. Think about this, people. I mean, I'm not in the Nation of Islam now, but I'll always be FOI for life. But think about this. This story has been covered so many different ways, so many different times, even from Malcolm's siblings and his daughters, that the truth has already been out there. Dick Gregory been telling the truth about this whole situation a long time, even Martin Luther King murder. But nobody wants to listen. Once you get something locked in your mind, you got to understand, a lot of people don't like the Nation of Islam in the first place because usually they don't kick somebody's ass in your family or they don't straighten somebody out who was trying to do some bullshit in the community, as y'all say. And these brothers go out there with no weapons other than their hands and their feet, and you could have had a weapon in your hand and they disarm your ass and beat the shit out of you or somebody in your family. So a lot of people don't like the nation anyway. I mean, think about when Muhammad Ali started off. Now, see, this is the whole thing. I'm glad you brought that up, Bernard. Now, when Muhammad Ali first came out, and he'll tell you from the beginning, most of the people came to see him get his ass kicked. Most black people even know Muhammad Ali, say he had a big mouth. They didn't like him because he didn't like the white man, so they didn't like him. So, you know what I mean? When I'm saying he didn't like the white man, he didn't like bad white men. See, that's what people always think, that we judge people strictly on their color. No, we judge people on their heart. And at the time, there was more the stuff coming from that side of the table and then the other side of the table. So you got to understand, there was a lot of black people who didn't like Muhammad Ali back in the 70s. Go back. You'll see. I mean, Ebony, Jet, all them damn papers put all kinds of bad articles on him because when he joined the Nation of Islam, that was all over. How in the hell can we have a champion in one of the hate groups in America? Because they try to put the Nation of Islam was saying with the Klan. So you got to understand all this shit coming out. And think about Malcolm. Malcolm talked so much shit about this country, and how did he end up on a stamp? You see what I'm saying? And so it just shows you as time go along, when you say they get these things about the Nation of Islam, boom, 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 they still know how far to go. Let me tell you something. They still, because let's just be honest. If I had any belief that the Nation of Islam did something to Malcolm X or Muhammad Ali, two of my heroes, you know what I mean? There's no way they could have got me in any participating in any FOI, any training, people doing martial arts, any of that. Because these two people, other than 5%ers out of New York, really got me conscious. And that's why I'm conscious to the day. And that's why I can only go so far with this bullshit so far, because I am conscious. Some of y'all ain't never been conscious. You'll never be conscious. And I'm just being honest, because you don't have to deal with that lifestyle. You come up on a different lifestyle. So you don't see it as invisible to you. You don't see it till it hit you in the ass. Once it hit you in the ass, then you be like, oh, I see what they was talking about now. Now, is it the same techniques they used to use back in the 50s and 60s? No. Everything has an evolution. And so the system of white supremacy is not the same as it was in the 50s and 60s. They was blatant back then. Today, they Corvette, whatever the fuck y'all call it, they hide their shit. And so y'all don't see it. Y'all see it more within us and then you see it with them, but it's okay. Because sooner or later, you going to have to drink the Kool-Aid. And you go see it and then you going to say, oh, okay. It's not as big as it used to be, but I ain't going to never deny it's not out there. So when people come out and do things, Bernard, as far as when it come out like people who got on platform and spoke against evil of this country, and then all of a sudden they become heroes. So they'll use a dead man to try to kill a alive man. They have always used that against the nation. They'll try to take one of our dead FOI and try to make him super over the live one, And so, that playbook has been done over and over. They try to do it with Dr. Khalid Muhammad. I mean, they try to deal with everybody. Divide the family, and what happened? You make it weak. And that's the same thing going on with us when it comes down to relationship. That's why I give as much pushback I can and try to say, look, we got to look at this thing and what it is. Yeah, we got some badass women out there who's doing some fucked up shit. You know what I mean? Yes, we have. But we always had hoes. Everybody in the neighborhood know who the hoe was going to be in the neighborhood. But what y'all try to make me believe is all the women in the neighborhoods are whores now. And you'll never make me believe that. So you got to understand, this playbook been played over and over. The only part of it now differently.
They're all whores.
Yeah. Hey, look, the only part of this playbook is different now. Bernard, is the actors. See, the actors used to be white. Now the actors are black.
Okay.
And I know y'all gonna disagree with that, but you go back and listen to the things that y'all say today. I can take you back 40 years and let you listen to the Klan, or I can take you on to some of them talk shows and let you see how the Klan was talking. Y'all are saying the same thing they're saying. Only thing it is, the characters don't change. The color of the characters change.
Well, let me.
So I seen this playbook over and over. That's why I give y'all a little more pushback.
Let me ask you a question, OG.
Keep in mind all that all that he said all that because I asked him why him and AJ Johnson didn't get along.
Yeah, well you said.
I mean, we just keep it. We try to have not a dry moment in the conversation, so we just keep it going, but not.
Let me ask you something, OG, because I've heard you say this before, and you said it to me many times on the phone. You said, "Oh, y'all sound like a Klan meeting and all that kind of stuff." But let me ask you this, OG: does the truth care who tells it?
Yes, it does, and I'm gonna tell you why. And I learned this a long time ago. Yes, it does. It's a difference. It's a difference when somebody say, "I hate you, motherfucker," because they have hatred in their heart and they just don't like any black people, versus somebody say, "I hate you you motherfucker because you just a bad dude. You have nobody best interest but yourself." Now, if a black person say that to another black person and they saying that because the person is a bad person, versus another motherfucker saying, I hate you regardless of what you ever do, good or bad, because of your skin color. Yes, it does have a difference. Because one is doing it for the hatred of their heart, and one is doing it for the trying to correct somebody's behavior or bring it to somebody's attention of their behavior. Now, you will say, well, that's what black brothers are doing today. No, there's a lot of black brothers who won't come on and confess. They're hurt. And I understand they're hurt, and they have a right to testify on the mountaintop about their hurt. But sooner or later, they're going to have to get over this shit and keep it pushing.
What are you talking about?
So it would be different if
TPOT know what I'm talking about.
It would be different, OG, if a white man was saying, these old mamas
or mammies. Yeah, you're right. Think about it.
It'd be different.
Think about it. Wait, look at this. I'm gonna show you how stupid shit is sometimes, right? They had ancient mama pancakes back in the day, right? Every box of that pancake that was sold, there was a black family get residual income from that. All right? All you uppity Negroes who couldn't stand that picture or the title, got them changed. Now you got a woman with a relaxer or a straightening comb in her hair, and they changed the box. Now that family don't get any money from that advertisement on that box. See, that's what I'm saying. Understanding the business of something and understanding the bullshit of something. Sometimes you can get yourself in a bad predicament because you don't understand what's happening in the background. So that family used to get residual. It's going to be passed on. Finances going to be passed on. Grandson, grandbaby, great-great-grandbaby, passed on them for the total time they sold that product. Now that family don't get anything. Due to the fact we get uppity and we think we're just like them, and then we all of a sudden there's certain images we don't want anymore.
Wait. Okay, I
disagree.
I do
disagree
like
with
you.
that.
I like to hear you tell your stories, even though you be smug. Even though you just you tried to smuggle in some nonsense under.
You know I ain't gonna never do the nonsense.
Here's the deal. I think it's people more in your camp that got that money taken away from
No, my camp, we don't care about that bullshit.
No.
See, can you try to put that's the problem now. You try to put me with that B1 product. That's a new product. Y'all invented that product. Y'all invented that product.
We didn't invent
bullshit.
Yes, y'all did.
That shit.
We didn't invent that.
No, but that B1 new shit. That B1 no shit don't know anything about what we as used to do as Pan-Africans. That's totally different.
Okay, that's cool. This is what I'm charging you up with.
All right, charge me up with it. Goddamn, let's see if you got enough juice.
Okay, all right. This is what I'm charging you up with. The people who always complaining about, shout out to Lil Big Nate, racism are the people who didn't realize that they're complaining about that their gripes and grapples with racism because it's racist that she's on there with a scarf on her head looking like a slave or whatever. So then they trying to say the syrup company is racist, and so they got Angel Mama taken down. So
you would think that
because they're complaining about racism.
This is your narrative, right?
That's what got money taken away.
No, it's not. Now I'm going to explain it to you another way.
If my camp or my people or y'all or whatever you put us in, people who think or operate,
your camp is like Sarge on Soldier Story. So you don't want to talk about that one, do you?
Hold on. I don't even know who that is.
Go ahead, Wiggy. Go ahead and get them baseball. There ain't you got something to do, Wiggy? You just like the rest of them niggas.
All right. The people who think more like me don't try to find racism under every stone, and so I can look at the Aunt Jemima syrup and just be like, oh well, whatever. And then that black company will still keep getting their family.
Well, see,
the people who cry about racism.
I know you're trying to get that in, but you ain't gonna be able to sweat that sweat off your body, okay? I know you're trying to get it in, but I got another story for you.
Got money taken away from that family.
No, I got another story for you. Have you ever looked at the movie Soldier Story?
No.
All right. Have you ever looked at a movie called Imitation of Life?
No, I put them both on my Netflix list. That's mean I'll be getting to them in like 5 years.
Oh, okay. Well, there was a person in the military, and they call him Sarge, and this whole film was based on Sarge got killed because
they killed him. They killed him.
See, TPOT know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, I'm a little older. I'm almost up there with you, OG. So,
Okay. So TP, so you can see where I'm going with this story. Now he just told his story. Now what is it that Sarge didn't like? He didn't like black people to act like black people, right? That to have a culture of black people. Look at them over there playing that goddamn guitar. Look at them niggas.
Don't bring up. See, there you go. You're bringing up somebody's point. There's nothing wrong with playing a guitar. But something wrong with doing some unproductive nigga shit.
No. Listen what I'm saying, Sarge. You don't understand what I'm saying, Riley. Sarge was talking about anything that black people did as a whole that was holding them back from going out there fighting in the war. So he had anything against anything that reminded him of old-timey blacks. So you can take your story and put into his story. There's always been the uppity, what we call the uppity Negroes who look down on the regular Negroes. Them are the ones who hated that type image more than anything. Think about it. If you went to Princeton and Harvard, and you call yourself living in a very diverse neighborhood where most of all the people you lived there was white, and you are the one who advocate for all these old stereotypes to be off cereal boxes or cartoons or anything. We just told you what they was doing. But these are the ones who have power to get them off of that. Do you understand that this is different?
No, say the last part about what you said again. I checked out again. But say the last part again.
God damn. Well, you better. Was you taking too much melatonin or something at nighttime?
No, it's like I gotta listen to you in spurts.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. I can't give you a fucking headache.
I'm back. I came back and I'm good.
You back. Okay. I was just saying it's the upper class blacks sometimes who give more pushback in things that we do as a whole in culture, just like we do now. They have more pushback than the Nation of Islam as for certain things to go on in our community.
Okay,
come on now.
I got where you're at now. You calling it uppity. I disagree with the uppity thing, but there is a percentage of black people that look at a lot of what we would call nigga shit, and we think the nigga shit shouldn't be promoted.
Right.
So that's different from
I know it's different, but it can cross roads.
Who don't want anything culturally black to be on display.
I mean, you got the uppities.
You're trying to lump that in to that
and not lumping it in. It's just what it is.
Hold on. The
go ahead,
people who are anti the unproductive nigga shit, you're trying to lump them in with people who are just trying to wash away anything culturally black. As if I go to somewhere in Detroit and they're doing it's like some concert, they're doing old Motown songs, and I'm like, look at this nigga shit. We don't want to see people singing these songs that they sung back in the day. No, like that. Don't make it seem like that. No, when we talking about
how about let's go a little further, Bernard. How about I can't dance and I don't eat watermelon? Them same uppity people you talking about. They hate images like that. They look at watermelon like, ooh, somebody offers them watermelon. Ooh, that's racist when you be.
I'm not with them niggas, but I do take that approach if somebody offer me some shitlins.
Yeah, I would too, but I'm not watermelon. Like, what is his name
it happens to be the case. I personally don't like watermelon, but I'm not offended by it. I just don't.
Yeah, but I'm just saying is these ones I'm talking about, they are totally offended. Even if you say have a person saying, "Can we dance?" and they're like, "No, I can't dance." They're the one who declare they can't dance. You understand what I'm saying?
I know, but you're trying to smuggle them in with people who got a fair.
I ain't smuggling them in. I'm just talking about the same side of the street on a different side of it.
A legitimate critique of things that are wrong with black culture. Don't smuggle in the irrational people on one extreme end.
But they are very extreme. Go back and look at the movie Sober Story, and you'll get what I'm talking about.
I know, I get what you're talking about, but don't smuggle them in inadvertently.
Why you think I'm smuggling in? You ain't doing the same damn thing.
You brought them up. That's why
you're a musician, but you still, regardless of I brought them up, you still trying to smuggle some other bullshit behind what I brought up.
I ain't smuggling nothing in.
Yes, you is. You be sliding some shit in, Bernard.
Through the front door, I ain't smuggling shit.
Bernard, you be putting that grease on the goddamn floor and doing some Michael Jackson goddamn moonwalking on some bullshit too sometimes.
Bullshit. All right, go ahead.
Come on, Bernard. I mean, you do it so eloquently that people can't sometimes even catch you doing it.
I'm glad eloquently passed the mic to Pablo. Go ahead, man.
Oh, Pablo in the house. That was him standing on the mountaintop. Where you at in Ghana? That looked like a picture out of Ghana, but I know your ass ain't going to Ghana. You gonna go to them goddamn little Spanish country. Go ahead, Pablo.
So J Speed.
Yes, sir.
Are you familiar with Bill Duke?
I worked for him a couple times.
The director. Yeah. You know, he did Menace to Society.
Yeah.
And you know,
Bill Dukes was having a game show coming on, and it was me and Al Toomey. We supposed to be the star of the show. Yeah, I worked with Bill Dukes when I found out some things about him, but I wouldn't want to tell y'all on here. But,
you know, Bill Duke had that famous line in Menace to Society that I like so much. He says, "You know you done fucked up, right?
Uh-oh.
You know you done fucked up." So now
go ahead.
So you took the Fruit of Islam and took them out to the comedy club to chastise one of the brothers who was saying some things that you thought was inappropriate, correct?
No, listen to what I'm just saying. No, it had already happened.
To the house. You sent them
Hey, no. Let's
sent them to the house.
Hey, wait a minute. Sherlock Holmes, hold on a minute. Just a minute. Just because you stand on the mountaintop with your hands on your hip, you still ain't ready for me, not in no kind of debate or no kind of fight. So let me get mine in before you start bullshitting people. Because I already know what your narrative is and your angle is, okay? God damn it. So, number one, I said before, I said before there has already something had happened. One of the guys had said a joke, almost the same joke. And he got snatched off stage and got the shit beat out of him. And then when Chris Tucker came in and wanted to do the same joke, I pulled him to the side because I had respect for him. All right?
Uh-huh.
Okay?
And you put him.
And that's what any wait. And that's what any man would do when he's into something he'll die for.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? Because I got brothers. Wait. Stop. Because you start listening to it and then you say, I'm fucked up. I'm going to take you down the street.
Let me finish.
Now, I'm going to let you finish, but maybe you don't have to finish when I say this.
Oh, you filibustering.
No, I'm not filibustering. Maybe you don't have to finish when I finish this. We got brothers out there who dedicate their life to trying to make a better community for everybody. And they don't get paid one goddamn cent for it. All right? They don't get paid one damn cent for it. And they out there risking their life to make a better life for other people in the community. And when you have comedians who making money, who would stoop so low to put these brothers in danger or anything, then we gonna push back on that.
I got
He only said he gonna slap a pork chop out his hand. Wasn't nobody in danger.
So here's
That's what you say, Bernard.
So J Speed, here it is. It was all right for the Nation of Islam to chastise that comedian, but it ain't all right for us to chastise the community in your mind.
Okay, let's go with this, Pablo.
So wait a minute.
Wait. Let's go this way. I just said earlier, and just before you hop your ass up here, if you had listened, you would have known better to get your ass up here and say what you just said now.
I let you talk.
I said there's a difference.
I got the
look, Smooth. For a motherfucker who have a kid and don't want a goddamn community, a computer, a game to play, and then you tell another motherfuckers about how hard you having time in your life with this court case, and then you ask me for a goddamn Xbox, you all take your sorry ass, no backbone ass somewhere and hide under a rock.
Clearly remedial. This guy is
Yeah. So you take yourself and hide on, and like a motherfucker, you act like you can't be touched neither with your little pictures and shit. Motherfucker, I still got your number. I still got your number. You sorry son of a bitch.
You little pussy.
Hold on, chill. We not about to do that. All right, chill for a second. Both of y'all chill.
I listen. I got a lot of respect for you, J Speed, for all the work you've done in Hollywood, for the way you raised your family and your children, for your work. But dude, you have a blind spot. When we do the very same thing that you just told us about with the Nation of Islam chastising that comedian for being a goddamn buffoon. When we do it, we sit up here on these airwaves, these men in the black manosphere, chastise our people for acting like buffoons and besmirching our image. You tell us to stop. It's all right for them, but it ain't all right for us to do it. I love you, brother, but you're wrong.
Oh, my fault. He's muted.
No love for him, Pablo. No love for him.
You're unmuted. Go ahead.
Smooth. This is the brother, since he wants to come on your platform, Bernard. We was on a show on one of your brother Art in the show, and he was talking about him having a hard time as far as having a court case somewhere in Texas, some goddamn where. And I told this brother,
having no court case, you fool. Tell the story right.
Can you can I get the story out, Mr. Smooth?
You're talking about my shit. You're talking about me.
Oh well, if you didn't have no court case, then what are you talking about, then, brother?
I came here to talk about something else about you. But Bernard, where you give me the floor?
Hold on, wait, real quick, JSP. I don't know how whatever you're bringing up about his personal stuff. I don't know how or why it's relevant. It's almost like you just.
It's relevant because. It's relevant because I just did this. Video about.
He's deflecting. Answer Pablo's question. Don't talk about me.
No. Bernard, I'm gonna tell you why. Because this is why I have problems with not just him personally, but I have a problem with a lot of brothers who come on and complain about having problems in the black dealing with females and dealing with the court system. That's number one. Okay, you have that problem. Now, here's a person who went down to the court system and got custody of his child who might know some things that could help you. All right? And then when you get these brothers and you tell them these things, they don't want to hear about that because they want to complain about it. They don't want to hear. And I'm not talking about you, Smooth. I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about in general. All right? I had a organization called My Child Saying Daddy that I was involved in. All right? Bernard, and it helps fathers to go get custody or get better rights when it comes to their children, right? I exposed the black manosphere to this organization, and I got attacked from left and right. Now, this brother's been in business for 30 years, and he's a member of the Better Business Bureau, and he only had 2 complaints, and the complaints he had was from the same person, all right? So I had brothers shoot me down because they prefer to talk about how bad it is in the court system versus them getting off their ass and going down there and doing something about it with a brother who had did his due diligence how to go and maneuver in the courtroom without a lawyer. But then brothers who complain about the courtroom didn't want to know this stuff, this technique he was using in the courtroom. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who just want to complain about things and never do anything about it. They get off every day getting up.
Hey, J Speed, I don't know those people, okay? In this space.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do, Bernard.
No. We talk a lot about what to do and how to do it. I know for damn sure I talk to a lot of brothers and I don't get no pushback. Talk to a lot of brothers on what I did and how I got custody, and then how I got 50-50 custody on paper, but it's actually more than that in reality. But that's another story. But I talk all the time about that.
But you're unique, Bernard. That's why people come over here. Not you, but you do know some of these brothers.
Wait a minute. Ramil talk all the time about how to do it without a lawyer. Fantastic talk all the time about how he literally did it without a lawyer. So what you coming at us with is one of the I would have to say the straw man.
You name two of the characters who I'm talking about. Because when I first came in talking about how to do it without a what's the name, these brothers had no fucking clue.
Okay,
this guy's just deflecting.
Content creators in this space to talk about how to do it without a lawyer.
No, listen what I just said. When I first came in telling guys how to do it. Fantastic was the first one who was talking about, well, we can't use this guy because he got 2 complaints. Who been in business for 30 years and only have 2 complaints?
Okay. If Fantastic said that in the context that you describing it, then I would say
I'm describing it just the way it went, brother. Okay, the evidence is there on all their channels.
I will say Fantastic made a bad argument if it was exactly the way you described it. However, I'm not seeing that where people are rejecting resources on how to do things.
Now they're not, Bernard. You got to understand 2 years ago.
He's deflecting the whole time. You're deflecting and dancing around what you
look. You the only one I know tap dance. Motherfucker, camera up. Camera up. Let's have a real man debate. Camera up and let's have a real debate. Camera up right now. Let's have a real debate.
Why?
Because you ain't. I don't know if you white or black.
Oh, do you see?
What the hell? Okay, OG.
You see?
OG. You apparently got something personal with Smooth.
Most certainly.
Okay, so
most certainly. There's no need with that.
Old nigga.
But I'm just saying, if you want to talk to me, my brother, get it hit. Stop hiding behind the cartoon characters.
I want to call people like you out.
Smooth. Check it out. OG clearly got something personal with you. Did you come up here to address something personal with him?
No, sir.
You came up here to talk about what's on the topic?
Yes.
Okay. I will allow you to talk about what's on the topic. Whatever personal y'all got going on, I ain't having nothing to do with that. But if you want to talk about the topic, you can talk about the topic. And somebody just said in the chat about OG answering Pablo's question. We about to get back to that because Pablo got you in a perfect checkmate, and then you spin moved over to Smooth.
So, that's what I'm saying.
So Smooth, what is it that you had that was on the topic? Go ahead.
I mean, regarding the topic and stuff, the title with Chris Rock being Red Pill before Red Pill, I think we all knew that. He always slipped a lot of Red Pill truths.
I was actually talking more. You didn't have nothing on the recent topic.
No.
More on the recent topic. I thought you was on that.
No. I was going to talk about Chris Rock, and I also did want to address, characters such as a gentleman on the panel and others that always want to talk down on black men and what they do for calling, the realities out that we talk about in this space all the time. But then you come to find out that everything that they suggest for you to do is just a strategy to lull you to sleep, because it's the same strategy that they've been talking about back in the days where they were young and vibrant, and we come to see that it yielded no freaking results. Now we are in a space where we're actually calling out what is holding us back as a community, what is going on and everything. The fact that people have to be productive, the fact that people have to focus on themselves and be productive and do for themselves. But then they come along and say, no, you have to respect this woman. You have to do this. You have to do the same ish that we did back in the day that yielded no results up until now, ever since the freaking 60s. But they will want to come here and try to tell you what you should do, talking about they listen to this, they listen to that, they listen to that. And then when they're asked, what side are you on? Because you see the realities that brothers are suffering from out here, and you're choosing not to address them. You would rather address the fact that they are complaining about the very person that is putting them in this bad situation that they always like to call, oh, white supremacy. White supremacy is the white man doing this to you. But who is being his agent? You will never address their agent.
Same way you won't never address the elephant in the room, my brother. So you wait, okay, I'll let you talk. I didn't interrupt you. I didn't interrupt you. I let you talk. All right. I let you talk. All right. You tell me all the shit that you've been doing for the last 15 or 20 years. Have you built a nation? And I'm not asking you as this question. I'm just putting that out there on the table. Have you built a nation?
No.
Wait a minute. Do you know what the nation is all about? Pulling yourself up on your own bootstrap, doing for yourself. Stop complaining. Do you know that's how the nation is built,
Has your
my brother?
organization built the nation?
It don't make no difference as organization. Y'all just got an organization that is dysfunctional.
Tell me who has recently
because you don't really even have a mission statement. You can just get on these goddamn YouTube and say any kind of bullshit.
I can create a mission statement.
Okay, create one.
So
create
what
one.
nation have you built?
Okay,
and your organization. What have y'all
again?
built?
I didn't interrupt you.
Tell me what nation.
I'm putting it out on the table. It shows you something. It just shows. And see, this is where you lose your argument at. This is where you really lose your argument. There's been too many people who don't went before you, and probably a lot of people go behind you and me, who have put forth the effort to better our community, but you disregard all of that. Because what you gonna say is anything old didn't work. That's what you gonna say. Anything old didn't work. And see, that's where you lose your argument at. You lose your argument with respectful of even some young people who came up with a foundation of a mother and father who used things that they learned and instilled in their children, make them better.
Is the community in a better place now?
Wait. Put it again. Let me finish,
Is the community in a better place now?
Maybe the community you live in is not. But the community that these people who still come on to this channel right
here, are these people part of the black community that you're talking about?
And see some of the same problems, you see?
All right. Okay, yeah, I'm
exactly.
Pause.
The same problems. Wait, hold on. You heard that? The same problems.
All right, I'm gonna push pause on that. All right, Sonny's Hot Raw, thank you for the super chat. He says, OG, all you said basically is that the NOI is good and ready to regulating about black people, but not very good at regulating white supremacy. George Zimmerman doing okay. All right, should I go on? All right, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. All right, I'm gonna throw it back to Pablo because Pablo did have a good line of questioning that OG.
Well, let him.
Let Pablo go. Let Pablo go. He got this.
My final question for J Speed is this: why was it okay for that Fruit of Islam member to jump up on that stage and pimp slap that comedian, and for you to go and tell Chris Tucker afterwards, hey man, you might want to watch yourself? But when men in the black manosphere virtually pimp slap the community and the dysfunction that goes on in it, we're asked not to do it by you.
Nobody is asked not to do it. One thing I can say about the organization that I was a part of is we don't give a damn who we correcting. And see, that's what you're trying to not put into your story. We tell it just like it is on men's, as Bernard say, and women. We tell.
I
got you.
They've done that here as well, Jason.
Okay, wait. Let me finish, Pablo. Let me finish. Like, you got your shit out. Let me get my shit in now. All right? Okay? So we tell it just like it is. I don't have a problem with brothers. I don't have a problem with brothers bringing issues that we have with women in the community. Matter of fact, I was one of the first brothers in Charlotte, North Carolina, to say how unfair, and back in the 80s, how unfair the court system was when it came to child custody. All right? But what I'm saying to say that is, Pablo, even though I looked at the unfairness, I was willing to put in the work, just not talk about it. But when I have brothers who come on these channels and they have nothing good to say about the community in one way or the other than their complaints, that's the only thing they could talk about is the complaint of the way. Look, man, if I don't like a set of goddamn Nikes, all right, Pablo, if I don't like a set of Nikes and I like another pair of Nikes, I'm not going to talk about the ones I don't like. I'm going to buy the one that I want and just wear the motherfuckers and be happy. But when I see brothers like you who continuously support these channels, jump on these channels to get your own shit off about what you hate about women in the community, and you never had to say anything good about any black woman in the community, but you can say all kinds of lovely shit about other women's outside our community, yes, I'm gonna have a problem with you, brother. Okay. I'm gonna always have a problem with you because I don't believe 99% of all the women's in the black community are in that behavioral situation that you're talking bad
Nobody
behavior.
says 99% of them.
But we're not talking to you, Smooth. You say you're gonna let Pablo talk. You don't need no background singers, okay? I'm talking to Pablo right about now.
So let me respond. So I invite you to go over to Sister George's channel, The Breakdown, and you can type in a little in your search engine that says, have you ever met an exceptional black woman? And I was a guest on their show. And guess who was on there saying, one of the few men in this manosphere that said, yes, I indeed have met, been with, and been in relationships with an exceptional black woman. So don't charge me up with that. Second, this space.
That's the only one you can find, brother.
Wait a minute. All I need is one. I got one. I have one.
That makes my point. You making my argument like Fantastic say. You making my argument. Go ahead, brother.
So you're saying that I said there was none, and that's not true.
No, again, you making my argument.
I've never said such a thing. Second, this space also talks about the dysfunctional men in the community. I mean, Kevin Samuels did a whole damn year.
I ain't talking about Kevin Samuels. I'm talking about Pablo. Not right about now. That's some bullshit you trying to slide in. Go ahead.
Oh, Lord.
There are plenty of videos by plenty of different content creators.
I'm asking you, brother. I'm talking about you personally. This is personal towards you now. You.
I hope the chat can see this.
I don't give a fuck about no chat, man. I ain't never been no populist. Do you understand, Smooth? I ain't never been no populist. Right shit ain't never been popular. I'm just telling you right now. If you live long enough, you'll know that little young buck. You'll know that populist when something is right, it ain't gonna never be popular. It's not.
Okay, J Speed, you asked me a question. I'm going to answer.
What was the question? Because your background singer slid in. What was the question now?
I just recently did a video chastising black men who travel abroad for their misbehavior, bringing dysfunction across borders. I did a whole video on it.
Because you're sucking up your avenue, huh?
Do not charge me up with not holding.
But why wouldn't you complain about that? If you want, wait. A lot of brothers are taking a lot of heat now about going over to these countries now. So why wouldn't you complain about that now?
J Speed, I just
ain't no J Speed my ass. Why wouldn't you complain about that now? Because you know they're taking a lot of heat about that now.
I wouldn't. I've always complained about it. I did that over a year ago right here on Bernard's channel.
How many times you do it?
I've done it more than once. Dude,
how many times would you say?
Either you're too dumb or you deliberately.
Wait. See, again, Smooth. He don't need no background singers. Go ahead, Pablo. How many times you did it? We're going to ask each other some questions. How many times you think you did it?
Dude, I probably done
can't
it
trust old
times.
niggas like this, guys.
I've brought up my
your mama's old nigga. She's not even really a woman. So go ahead, Pablo.
Let me deal with
you see, this is a man for the community talking about.
Most certain, because you come up with some bullshit. You call me a nigga. Anytime you call me a nigga, brother, I'm gonna come at you any kind of way. You have no respect, and your young ass, if you ever want to see, you'll get behind the avatar, but you won't bring your ass back behind the avatar. You won't. You want. You know why? You know why? You one of these old young motherfuckers who don't really know any damn thing, and you want to be popular.
Sure.
So what you do, you go out here and get these avatars to make you look like something you really not. But I tell you what, a brother like me, 62 years old, would meet a brother like that and beat the shit out of you. And that's where your problem is at.
Yes.
And that's where your problem really is at.
Yes, sir.
Here it is. You're a young man.
I think it's time for that.
Can me and Pablo finish? Can you just drop this idiot? Can you drop the idiot and me and Pablo finish?
I would like for y'all to finish. I don't feel like Pablo's original question or even his second question has been
it was answered. It wasn't answered the way you like it, but it was answered. It was answered. You know it was answered. It don't go along with y'all narrative. See, y'all always want I got you moments. But you ain't got no moments with me like that. I got you moments. Y'all can forget about that bullshit. Just like I say, Bernard, there's no disrespect to you. I don't forget more shit than half of you motherfuckers will ever know.
Could you
and so when you have the moments when you talking about I got you moments, you better understand who you dealing with.
Okay.
You ain't got no I got you moment. I don't deal with Negroes like you all my life.
Could you
all my life I don't deal with Negroes like you, who always have a one narrow vision of life. You got to open yourself up. You got to open yourself. And Pablo, as you say, you did it many a time. That shows you made my point. You did it many a time by correcting men who's going over there fucking up your third world countries about the things y'all want to do over there. But you only had one conversation talking about that you have had a decent black woman. See, that shows you make my point, brother. If I keep you talking, you're going to keep on making a lot of other points for me.
Okay,
could you answer?
You still haven't answered my question about why is it okay for the Nation of Islam to chastise black men, but it's not okay for us to do it?
Look, again, I answered your question. You just didn't like it. I'm gonna shoot at it again.
That's a non-answer.
No. You see, if you already tell me what I'm gonna do, then you don't want to listen to my answer, brother. You want I got you moment. Nation of Islam have always corrected anything that was bad in our community. Not just that, anything. So you ask me a question or something we do every day?
I've heard men here discourage there's some content creators who talk about pump and dump. We have guys who are against pumping and dumping. So I mean, you're cherry picking.
But no, we're not. Listen again. If you didn't know, won't you ask somebody? The Nation of Islam, our post is any bad behavior in our community, we either try to correct it in communication, or we could direct it in speeches, or sometimes we correct it in physical. So that's been a history. Wait a minute, listen to me. That's been a history how the Nation of Islam came about.
The manosphere does people. Why is it okay for the nation to assault people, but it's not okay?
Because y'all talk about one issue. Because again, it goes back to that Klan thing again. It goes back to that. There's a difference than trying to correct the community and love with love than hate. And a lot of you brothers who come on here, you've been hurt. And you have a right to be hurt if you've been through a bad situation.
A nigga off the stage isn't hurting them.
Say what?
Do you guys hear this?
Listen, what I just said again. You trying to move the goalpost, brother. Brother, you're trying to move the goalpost.
Do you think you endeared yourself?
Wait a minute. You're trying to move the goalpost, brother. I said we correct. Look. I said we could look
themselves to that.
Again, I said we correct.
Intimidating Chris Tucker.
Again. I said again. We correct bad behavior. Look.
Is that who you
look again? I tell you what, Pablo. I tell you what. You take your ass over to your third world country and you say something about that leader over there and see what the fuck happened to you.
So it's all right.
No, I'm just told you. You go over there and you say something bad about that leaving in third world country, and you go out there and get your American flag, and you start walking down the street and see how long your ass lasts. See.
In that documentary I just watched, I was telling you about Muhammad Ali when they was talking about the Nation of Islam. Those same words was uttered. They actually was uttered by Muhammad Ali. When they was asking him about Malcolm X and whatever. I ain't about to get into that. There was some controversial things said in that. But yeah, what you just said right there, Nation of Islam, the orphan people for talking shit about Elijah Muhammad. So
not one time. Don't put words in my mouth. Don't put words in my mouth, brother. I disrespect you in that way because if you put words in my mouth. I never said the Nation of Islam offer anybody. So don't put no fucking words in my mouth.
Would the nation stand behind Kevin Samuels, JSP?
But you just said that I uttered the same words today that was on that documentary. I didn't.
Let me make it clear. What I meant by that is the same way you said you go to that third world country, you say something about their leader and see what's going to happen to you. I was just basically saying.
Okay, I go with you on that, but I'm just talking about. We know. See, the thing about us as black people, I don't care upscale, downscale, middle scale, whatever. We know who to say and what we say, and when people start being accountable, what they say. When people start being accountable, what they say, then we don't say it. That's why we don't use certain words on this internet. We don't talk about certain people on the internet. You know why? That's the way the world is ran, Bernard, if you didn't know. The world is by what we call community standards. And when you go outside of what they call the community standards on any type of broadcast in the United States of America, they will find a way to shut your ass down. So why shouldn't we live under that rule? Why shouldn't we practice that rule? There's certain things you don't allow people to say on your channel. You know your channel will be striked. So let's act like we live in a world.
We can take that back to Pablo's original point. If there's supposed to be some community standards and some things aren't supposed to be done and some things aren't supposed to be said,
right?
And then get mad at the manosphere when they call out bullshit that they see going on with the community.
But see, y'all keep saying y'all say the same thing I say, Bernard. When I'm talking about what bad standards in our community, I do talk about bad behavior of women. As a matter of fact, I made a fucking song about it. So when y'all start talking about me being one way or the other, I just see things the way they are. I see bad behavior with men. I see bad behavior with women. I see bad behavior with children sometimes. I see bad behavior with black people, white people, Spanish people, whatever. What I'm saying is, if you can come across the podium and you can talk about all these issues and you don't have no narrative or why you want to attack a certain sex in the group or a certain people in the group all the time, that's when the shit get old. That's when the shit get old. Because anytime communication, anybody who will tell you when communication breaks down, everything else breaks down. If you're telling the same old story over and over and over, as y'all like to say, that we have a problem with the system of white supremacy, and y'all tired of hearing about it, y'all don't want to hear nothing about it. But the person who's using the puppet string and controlling the woman that you having problem with is the same motherfucker y'all keep telling me y'all tired of hearing about it. Because she gonna run to Zaddy. She gonna run to Daddy. That's what y'all say.
OG, you made a good point right there, and I criticize the brothers who will complain about, I like the word complain, who will accurately talk about the bullshit that women do, but then also be talking about the white supremacy and all of that stuff. You are right in that. You can't. I don't think you can do both. I did a few streams when I may have to do another one. So I do understand where you're coming with that point. That's one point I definitely give you.
Because we get it all the time, Bernard. But
there's a certain sector that I do think there's a certain sector of the sphere that do be in somewhat of a contradiction when they start doing both of those things at the same time. So I'm halfway with you on that one.
Because they married to each other. You wouldn't have the problem have.
No, the thing is, no, they not.
No. Let me make my point then, Bernard. Women would not get away with the things they get away with in our community if they didn't have some reinforcement. And their reinforcement is the person that most people don't want to talk about, the elephant in the room, because they say that person don't exist. But when it comes down to our women, they'll say, well, she's running to Zaddy. When every time she get in trouble, she'll run to him in the court system. Well, who you think we've been talking about?
Okay, the same guy that say when she get in trouble, she'll run to white supremacy and use white supremacy as a shield is not the same person who also in another breath says that white supremacy is either don't exist or is minimal at best. Those are two different people. So it's like you find I tell you what you're doing. You're finding different people in this space with different ideas, and you're trying to lump them together to find a contradiction.
Well, let me give you a great example, and I don't like to use people's names. Let me give you a great example.
Hold on.
We all one big nigga to
yeah, and that's how sisterhood. That's how the women look at us. It's just one big nigga, so they don't even listen to what the
Bernard. Real quick, you know who else looks at them like that?
You're
quote unquote, the white man looks at one big nigga as well.
Okay. Well,
again, he's the architect of all this bullshit, and y'all won't never say it because without him, we wouldn't be going through the bullshit we're going
actually,
through
a
now.
lot of them do say it, and I've argued with people on here to say it. I say we live in a free country that people should be free to do what they want to do and how they do it, and different people are going to react differently to freedom and exploit whatever they could exploit in a different way. But everything that we complain about that our women exploit, other women have the same access to exploit it. They have the same right, liberty, pursuit of happiness to do fucked up shit, and they just do it less.
And then that brings it back to the circle. It brings back to the circle what you was talking about earlier. Comedians don't have the right that you was talking about. Comedians don't have the right to say, and they get a lot of pushback. And this is what I'm saying is, so you saying that you said in your information that a lot of people who come on your channels, a lot of people come throughout the manosphere within it as a whole, don't have a one-sided story, because in the end of the day, one of the biggest mouthpiece in the manosphere, he says this: in the end of the day, regardless of all the shit I talk, we gonna have to have that conversation with women, regardless. But then you got these other brothers. I don't want to have nothing to do with them. I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to do nothing. All of them are bad seeds. All of them ain't nothing but a fucking hole. I mean, you got brothers in the man who talk like that. But at the end of the day, even Arsenio says that in the end of the day, we're going to have a fair and decent conversation. What is it, y'all?
What, damn it, OG, like what? Who? I don't even want to go to the point of just saying who are you talking about. But
what do you mean? Who am I talking about? You hit it all day.
Hold on, like damn. This space, yes, they talk about women. They talk about all the different social dynamics between men and women, and also have conversations with women. Like that's the thing. But there is a sector that say fuck that altogether. Just use them for sex and then go do what you got to do to build yourself, get your money, and just give women 5% of your time. And those who want to do that, they can do that.
But I'm not saying that people can't do it, but because they do that, but no, that don't mean I can't call them out for doing that. Think about when you have your shows. Think about when you have your business shows. How many people do you have you ever had 700 people in your business show?
No. And why would I? I didn't build a show based off business.
I know, but I'm just saying. Well, we're talking about building a community, but then that's what I'm saying. If we're talking about building a community,
there are people on the internet who can get 7,000 people on there.
There's some people who have there's some people who have 20 and 25,000, 30, 40,000, but they don't.
OG, I didn't build my platform on that, so I can't expect that. But at the end of the day, all you're doing is saying, I don't like the manosphere. Y'all need to shut this shit down.
That ain't what I'm saying, because some women. I get women. You don't know how you women, Bernard. Bernard.
You a sabotager in the camp right now.
Hey, Bernard. I'm not gonna let you get away with that shit, and that's very disrespectful for you to say that, because you haven't looked at enough of my fucking content to even know what the fuck I'm about.
Listen to what's coming out
but I'm just saying you haven't listened in the first place. You haven't listened to enough of my content.
JC is charging us.
Okay, again, you haven't listened to enough.
Can somebody else talk, man? Turn down the gain on the mic.
Okay, fuck you, Pablo, right about now, because he said some disrespectful shit. No, I'm talking to this man, and he said some disrespect. I thought was disrespectful. No, I'm not answering no question. I'm talking to the host of the show now.
He's charging us up with the very same.
Okay. I'm talking to the host of the show right now. Look, we don't need no cheerleaders. There's 2 men talking right now. We don't need it for you screaming and hollering, screaming like a little bitch right about now, Pablo. I'm talking to Mr. Riley right about now. I'm talking to him right now. I'm talking to him right about now. I'm talking to him, sir. Sir, just because you think you look good on that mountaintop, don't mean you have the right to come up and interfere with my conversation. That I'm talking to Mr. Riley right now.
Other people and ideas in the manosphere.
Again, you said that I was.
Go ahead, Pablo. I want to hear what Pablo was about to say. You said a lot.
You see what
shout out to Zero real quick. Shout out to Zero. Appreciate that super chat. Shout out to number 16. Appreciate that as well for the Friday fuckery. And I'm mad at Al Boogie because he predicted some fuckery when I said this is not going to be a show with any fuckery whatsoever. But anyway, go ahead. And I'll even pull back on the sabotager comment. That's too strong of a comment. but you do come up here to push back against everything the manosphere stand for.
No, I do not.
It's something similar to what like somebody recently just tried to say that to Angry Man. All you do is complain about women. Well, Angry Man said this space was built off complaining. I don't like complaining, but this space was built off men giving a critique of women. If you got a problem with that, then I mean, this was his words, what he said to his brother. If you have a problem with that, then why you here? Like that, just flat out like that. I'm not gonna say that with you, OG, but you do have a problem with the nature of the existence of what the space is and what we talk about. That much is true, because you come up to push back, not with, hey, I disagree with this point you made here. No, it's what you've been arguing for today is I disagree with the nature of what y'all doing. You basically you disagree with the existence of the man.
I disagree with complaint and no work behind it. That's what I disagree with.
Where do you get to no work from?
Again, this is the side of the story that you don't want me to exploit.
Again,
this is the side of the story you don't want me to explore, because people. Wait a minute.
Real quick.
I've been in supervisor positions throughout my work career.
If you rock with the sphere and you see a need that need to be filled, by all means, fill the need.
And I do that, and I talk about both sides. I talk about bad behavior on both sides. All right. What I'm saying is, if we're here to try to build, not just complain, but build men to be a better man in the United States, as far as when it comes down to us taking care of our business, getting our shit together. If that's what we are here to do, then it should be a lot less complaint and a lot of building. And when I say building, I mean, every time I get to say something, then y'all get off track, and then you don't get to understand what I'm about to say.
Why are you talking about that shit?
Pablo, start over. We couldn't hear you. Go ahead, real quick.
Then he should have a ticket to the Manosphere meetup on November the 4th that's already scheduled here in Atlanta, with IT courses and all other kinds of workshops that are planned, that has a hotel conference room, meeting places, and all that kind of stuff. Stop that shit, J Speed. You're full of shit and you're uninformed.
Okay. Again, Pablo, I would have to drag your ass all over the internet, but I ain't gonna do that, because I understand your narrative and what you trying to push.
It's not a narrative,
and what you do. Yeah, you have a certain narrative you trying to push, my brother.
It's not a narrative.
And yes, it is. It is, and everybody know when you come on, you don't have nothing that's good to say about other than I and what I.
Are you going to the Manosphere meetup?
Okay. Again, a lot of brothers ain't going to that Manosphere meeting, and they have different reasons for not going, and I understand.
Are you going?
No, I'm not going. Most certainly, I'm not going.
Okay.
I don't look, my brother.
Because you're not interested.
No. You don't know what I'm interested in, Pablo. You don't know what I'm interested in. No, I say I'm not going. I can do. I do my work. Look, do you understand? You understand? Most of y'all brothers get on this damn. Wait a minute. Most of y'all brothers
in this space.
Look, most of y'all brothers get on this internet.
What you said
okay, again, just because you holler, don't mean you make you right, my brother. If we're going to have a conversation, I'm talking to you nice and calm now, and you still with that high pitch screaming. You still with that high pitch screaming. Why don't you cool out a little bit, brother? Cool down a little bit. Cool down. Just because you're in a Superman pose, don't make your ass Superman. Not dealing with me in the first place. Okay? Again, so cool your ass down. Cool your ass down. You might can handle them goddamn third world women you deal with, but you can't handle this brother right here. This is a real brother you're dealing with right about now. So, again, I'm going to say it again. Most of you brothers get on this internet. This is what y'all do for 3 and 4 hours. But when y'all get off the internet, y'all get to live y'all life. When I say live y'all life, y'all get to do the things y'all want to do. When I get off this internet, as just I don't have nobody knocking on my door, because I got on my door right now, I'm on the air. I got to deal with 23 people. Okay? I put the work in. I don't have to go to no damn meeting in Atlanta or whatever. I'm putting the work in now in my house. Okay? So for you brothers who had to go there and you younger brothers, that's what you're supposed to be doing. That's what you're supposed to be going and getting yourself together, get your think tank together, putting your thing together so you can build on it. So it won't just seem like a belly aching goddamn organization who's on the move. You see what I'm saying? That's what you young people supposed to do. But for you to think that there are not older brothers, elders out here in this space who listen to you and seeing where they made mistakes in their life and saying, you know what, brother, y'all going down in the wrong alley. For us not to reach out and try to do it, it'd be irresponsible for us. And for the ones who think that I just only talk about the things y'all do wrong, I talk about a lot of things that y'all do right. I give y'all a lot of compliments. Maybe not on this channel, but my channel. I talk about even the ones I disagree with. I think they still should have a voice because we're not all one. I understand that. But see, most of y'all only experiment with me on this channel. You never really went back and listened to any of my content or what I do or what I say.
Okay, JC,
okay?
Can I speak now?
Yes, sir.
All right?
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
So you had your say. JC,
yes, sir.
You just said we weren't building anything, we weren't doing anything, we were just complaining. And when I pointed out to you that there's a whole manosphere convention going on with workshops.
Been knowing about that for about 2 months now, brother. Go ahead.
Okay, but so why did you get up?
You said I didn't know about it. You said I didn't know about it. I know the person who I know. I mean, I've been on the person channel who's one of the bigger persons in there. Little Big Nate. Little Big Nate. Look, Little Big Nate.
Oh, you knew about it, or you didn't know about it? So
say
you
what?
Knew about it? You knew about it, or you didn't know about it?
I did know about it.
You did know.
Yes, sir. Little Big Nate. I was on his show.
You got up here. Wait a minute. You knew about it, and you just got up here and said we weren't building shit.
I'm not talking about. I'm not talking. Wait. I wasn't talking. Wait. I wasn't talking. No, I wasn't talking about.
You know.
I wasn't. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. You always looking for I got you moment. That's your goddamn problem. No. You always trying to look for a got you moment.
You
brother.
Just said you knew about it.
No, you didn't listen to my whole statement. My whole statement was my whole statement was that the things that look, I have always respected. Look. For me to say, Bernard, what happened to your business shows? And he said my platform is not built on that. But at least he attempt to do it. Do you understand? I do understand there are certain content creators out there that goes in and try to build the community, even though he's still talking about some of the problems that we have in a relationship. There are good brothers out there, and Bernard is really one of them. No, listen, but not you.
Wait a minute, but not me.
Hold on,
not you.
Not
you.
I'll take that. That's fine. You're right. Not me, because I don't give a shit about the community.
See, there you go. That's what I'm talking about right there. Now y'all hear. Now y'all hear. Now y'all hear. See, this is what I'm saying. You keep them talking long enough, they'll expose themselves. And I have always given props to O'Shea. I have always given props to Bernard Rowley. Let me finish. Kevin Sanders. I give him his prop. Look, I give him his prop. Cydia, which I can't say his name, I give him his prop. So, see, this is what I'm saying is, if you don't listen to me, then you don't understand where I'm coming from.
At the scene of the robbery, Pookies will always leave the beer at the scene of the robbery. They will not.
Yeah, you can talk all that bullshit. Talk to your women like that, man. You can't talk to no man like that. Set your ass down somewhere.
All right.
Set your ass down.
All right, I muted both of y'all real quick. Both of y'all are muted real quick. I might have to shut this down. I mean, not because we wilding or anything, but it's time to fucking go. It's supposed to be a short show, and we 3.5 hours in. But this one thing that I do want to say, OG, when you talk about that whole don't care about the community thing, and then you also criticize the ones who just want to use women for just a warm hole here and there. The guy who's most known for that, he's actually the one who can talk about business and real estate and all of that and still pull the same views. And I'm talking about Ramil. Ramil be talking about all kinds of stuff to help black men out and getting great views while doing it. So even if you got a problem with dudes who talk about women like that, they still adding value to black men in this space. And I still do shows on business. I spread them out and space them out, but I still do shows on that. And yesterday the show was on. I had a clinician on here. We talking about mental health and all kind of stuff. It's and he's a black male clinician, and so we're talking about the problems black men have with that. So we do more than just complain. We talk about issues, and like I don't like to get don't pigeonhole the manosphere into one thing. Like it's not that. All right, I'm gonna leave it there.
Do you believe all shows is that way, Bernard? Though.
What do you mean? What do you
all
mean,
content makers? Do you believe all content makers are like you?
All of
fair and balanced.
He just said it's not. I mean, oh god.
I'm not asking you, Smooth. I'm just getting some clarification. Can I get clarification?
I don't really think I'm fair and balanced. I'm objective. I be objective.
Okay, well that's to me is fair. Being objective is
if I think we going the wrong way on a particular issue, I will call it out because I'm objective. And if people in this space or if men in general are fucking up on something, I'll be like, nah, I'll call it.
Right, and you'll ask questions even if you don't have clarification. You will ask questions.
I will ask questions.
Right, and that's all. Look,
it's cool. Everybody don't do it like.
I understand that, Bernard. I'm just saying why I respect. There are certain. I'm just telling you why I respect certain content makers who do have they don't have just tunnel vision on one subject. They are there to really give information to young men who probably maybe have a father or something in their house, or maybe men who just seeking answers that you don't have to tune in your channel every second of your channel just digging in on women. You can give him some knowledge, or you bring people in on knowledge. I see your station as different as you know it's different. You bounce around this YouTube street, and you understand that everybody's not gonna be like it. But I'm giving you a compliment, my brother.
And I appreciate that. But even the people who you would say just dig in on women, they also add a lot of value in other.
Well, the one you mentioned earlier, I always look at a pimp will always be a pimp, and I understand why he's a little mad at women.
Honestly, I think he's the least mad at women.
He ain't. When you go to jail and you being a pimp, you gonna be a little mad at women when you get out of jail, and there's a reason why.
I think Ramil, I damn near.
Listen what I just said.
Ramil been coming up too much on my show lately.
Look, a pimp gonna have that gift of gab, man. They gonna always be able to sell damn sand at the beach. So I mean, come on now, come on.
All right. Ramil adds a shitload of value. He's the one who could talk about short selling real estate and still have the same amount of people that he have in there when he's talking about why you need to leave these hoes alone. So,
right, I understand that, Bernard.
But value that he add to this space.
Hey, look, Bernard. When you put that kind of woman out there in the neighborhood in the first place, when you put that kind of woman out there in the space in the first place, you already know what the bad behavior is. You are the architect of that some of that shit.
Yeah, okay, and there's some people who are of the view that it's all bad either way, and so I'm not even about to break down their position because I do understand their position, and if their position is supplemented with some things that men need to do to better themselves, I'm good with it.
I'm not a fan of a person who sells drugs all year long and give turkeys out on Christmas. I'm sorry, maybe that's your base, but not mine.
No, that ain't what I'm.
That's the way I look at it. You can't tell me how I look at something. That's the way you look at it. That's the way I look at it.
Has the nation spoken favorably about people like that before?
Wait a minute. I don't
We're
think
all one big nigga.
I don't think
Bumpy Johnson and them.
Wait a minute. I don't think criticizing women is selling drugs all year long.
I didn't say criticizing women sell drugs all I think you took my analogy. You know exactly what the fuck I just said, but no, you're a very intelligent person.
You basically said
no, it ain't basically just what you said. You know it's bigger than what what you just said.
All right, whatever, man.
Okay, I don't feel bad now. LOL. JSP is previously called me KLC. Hey, what's going on there? See, I like to have talk with Roger. Even Carrie. one thing about him. Look,
You see,
number one.
Niggas do. You see,
No, wait,
whatever.
You don't even know what a nigga is, my friend. Matter of fact, you don't even know what a mother and father is. You probably got two bald ass head daddies calling them mother and daddy. So don't even come at me like that.
Of course,
there's
Mr.
a
Community.
speech therapist in the chat saying that they're willing to donate some time to you. A little speech therapist is in the chat saying that, you know.
Well, you know what? I really don't care about that because you know what? I don't have to travel all over the world to find a woman. I guess my gift for gab must be good enough. That it must be good enough. And yeah, when I want to speak okay, I can speak okay, you know, Pablo. So you can take that one and you can throw that one in the wind, just like all the other bullshit you try to come at me with. And next time you try to pose like Superman, get some goddamn, do some push-up so you can have some goddamn, you know, you have some detail, have some cut in your arms, brother. You want to look like you just standing there with a flab of bacon on your fucking
You never answered the question.
Okay? So I did answer the question. Just didn't answer the way you want to do it smooth because we know you real smooth and you the only person can answer a question, okay?
This is the last question of the day. I'm asking it. Smooth, they said you were Latin in the chat room. Is that true?
I'm Latin? No, sir. I'm Nigerian.
He's trying to act like he was from Africa.
Yeah,
they kicked his ass out.
They was accusing you of not being black. Okay. All right. Okay. All roads always lead back to I can get. Yep. I can all roads lead back to I can get pussy. Yeah. Okay. All right, we getting the hell up out of here. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, ARC. Thanks, everybody who.
Thanks for having me up, Bernard. You have a good one, man.
All right. Yeah, we out of here, peace. Y'all crazy as hell, and I'm done.
No.